I'm just late. I'm just late. I didn't cancel. I just didn't realize what time it was. I'm here. I'm here. I didn't cancel. Hi, Pep. Hey, listen, sometimes weekends, well, that's not it. Sometimes, good morning. Sometimes I needed to be a mama this weekend. I needed to be the mama. Did you ever see that cartoon? Let me be the papa. Let me be the papa. That's kind of what I needed to do this morning. Hi, GP. Yeah, I really needed to, this weekend. So that's why I had to cancel my shows, because I needed to be there. I need to be with my kiddo. So that's all. It just happens sometimes. I should probably build in also like just a regular season. Like, I don't even understand. Hello. I don't even understand why I don't do like a regular season, and then have like a couple weeks off and then it did this weekend. It did this weekend. She doesn't always get first dibs, which is terrible, but she did this weekend. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm literally late just because I didn't pay attention. Like, I was getting ready and I was thinking I had more time than I did. On the elliptical, J. Rance, you're amazing. You're amazing. Any of our friends at the Supreme Court? Where's Steve Bannon going in? That's what I want to know. I want to know where that bitch ass is. Where is that bitch ass? Happy Canada Day! That's right! Happy Canada Day, Neil. That's really cool. That's cool. Happy Canada Day. Although, is it like the Treaty Day? I don't really get what day it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really know. Let me see if I can fix this a little bit. That's fantastic. Congratulations on Canada Day. I think if I do, yeah, baby. That's right. All right. All night. Do it again and again. Oh, whoops. Okay. There we go. Let me get rid of this. Beep. Beep. Beep, beep, beep. There. That's a little bit more manageable. Anyway, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're closing the country in honor of Steve Bannon's. It's a holiday. You're out of the woods, you're out of the step into the sun, da 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 do. La la la. Good morning. It must be a yard arm somewhere. Raise the yard arm. Raise the yard arm. All that to say, we were going to close it anyway. Yeah, but you know what? That's as good as reason as any to close it, I think, personally. I think that's an excellent idea. Where is he going to prison? Connecticut? Where is he going to prison? Where is he going to prison? Are you going to do something fun, Neil? Are you going to go like to a party or anything for Canada Day? Do you guys do like barbecues? What do you do for Canada Day? Like a barbecue? Like you throw some poutine on the barbecue, you know? Leavenworth, let's hope. I kind of hope it's the prison where my brother volunteers. But I don't think it is. He's not going to death row. Yet. No. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm not really kidding, but I'm not kind of kidding. Wait, what about who? She complained. Wait, caught some margarine trailer. She complained about they tampered with the evidence. They did. Did they tamper with the evidence? Did they tamper with your evidence, girl? Hi, Julie. How are you? Oh, we're happy about Steve Bannon. Hey, listen, you know what? Let's be a little bit, the Buddhists have a really excellent concept. No tapers, just a taper. Like a taper, like TAPIR. I love tapers. Can I tell you, I used to work at a zoo, and we had one of the local, like, maestro, from the symphony. The symphony maestro came, and we named a taper after him because he loved tapers, and he gave money to give us to help tapers. And I really don't think he liked me. Can I just say that? I think that the head of a very famous symphony does not like me. Well, he probably doesn't remember me, but yeah, it's MTG, but I assume the verb signified. It actually totally made sense. Margarine trailer, margarine trader, green. I like that one. That's my personal favorite, Trader Green. That's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I was looking for like Jericho or someone, one of the chuds. I looked at Glory B or anyone. They're all sleeping. All the chuds are sleeping off the moonshine. What the hell? What in the hell? Man, I need this coffee right now, though. How are you guys doing? Do you have coffee? Are you okay? Did it cool off finally where you are? Oh, thank goodness. That's miserable. That's miserable. I know. I would have stayed in bed too. Yeah. Yep. Well, I don't know. I probably would have gotten up. If it's too hot, I probably would have gotten up. But, whatever. Actually, I wouldn't have stayed in bed. I don't think that's the thing. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't recognize anybody. Or Nadine's probably down there though. Nadine's pretty cool. She does a good one. Coffee outside? So nice. GP, what are you having? Wait, I missed it. Hi, butterflies. My brother is he works, or he did work at a university teaching writing, creative writing. He's a writer. He's a poet. He's been teaching for a very long time. He's really smart. One of the smart, and he volunteers to teach creative writing at a major prison. He's amazing. My brother's amazing. I mean, truly, he's really one of the most amazing people. Oh, the Buddhist concept. Oh, the concept that nothing is good or bad, it just is. I guess equanimity is maybe the word. I don't quite know what equanimity means, so I'm not going to totally claim that. But yeah, it is like it is what it is. I mean, that's one of my favorite sayings. Oh, that's Thomas Aquinas. Well, I know that. Oh, okay, but you know what I'm saying is like in Buddhism, the rain isn't good or bad. It's just rain. You know what I'm saying? Do you know? Is that right? Am I right about that? Maybe I'm wrong about that. I thought I read that amongst my Buddhist. It is what it is. Life goes on. Yeah, I can't have more than two a day or would be flying. Are you talking about coffee? Coffee? Our office has an on-site gym, my lazy butt. That's fantastic. I don't know, though. You have to shower. It's hard. I mean, it's a hard decision. He is amazing. My brother is really fucking amazing. And he's a smart guy. He's super smart. And he's he's a fabulous writer. I love his poetry. He's really good. And yeah, he's probably the talented one in the family. Aquinas was a great Buddhist. There you go. And we bring it around town. Aquinas for the win. Mental calmness. Yes. Oh, you need to mow today? That's a bummer. I hope it's not too hot. I hope there's not like thunder and lightning too. Like, be careful. Be careful out there. I know where you live. Be careful. Yeah, so that's kind of the thing I have is that, yes, this will be, it'll be what it'll be. Obviously, we don't know. I have a feeling, okay, my prediction, my lame ass prediction is that SCOTUS will carve out something that will help Bozo, if not giving him like immunity, which I just don't think they can. I think that that's like I think even they know they can't really do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they even feel like they can really do that. Beautiful now wearing a hoodie. Nice. I don't officially recognize Australia Day, Neil, though I love a public holiday. Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of thing I was thinking about Canada Day too. Well, on every day, you know, every federal kind of like holiday like that in countries is when the country changed hands from the people who lived there to the people who came, the colonizers. So I do, and I know that some of the people, oh, you're sweet. Some of the people in Canada feel, you know, this is Treaty Day. It's not like Independence Day, you know. So I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that. I'll take Australia Day off in return. Yeah, so I totally can get behind that. I'm not really big on the Independence Day, you know. Maybe if we admitted that more often, it'd be fine. Yeah, no, yeah, I don't know how he does. Like, he drives hours to get to this prison every week, and tells amazing stories about the lockdowns, you know, and how the prisons play with prisoners' lives in terms of, you know, like he'll get a call and say, well, we're on lockdown for a week, so you can't come this week, you know. And it will be for nothing. It'll be for nothing. And it happens, you know, when they're understaffed or they don't want to, you know what I mean? Like it depends on, like, it can be a host of issues that is causing the lockdown. But in his mind, he views it as a lot of manipulation of the prisoners, you know, which you can view that however you want to view it. I don't really think that's productive or humane, nor does he. So yeah, so and yeah, he's trying to do that work, which is great. I'm really proud of him. He's a good inspiration. Poor animals. Oh my God, the fireworks. Now they started here. Well, not started. They happen all the time, but yeah, I think it's going to be a bad week for your animals. Make sure your animals have somewhere safe to go when the noises come. Places to hide. My dog needs to be in the same room as I am when there's fireworks, so he will come to find me. So do what you need to for your pets this week. It's going to be a raucous one. And it's a great day to check your voter registration. What a great day to do that. That's an amazing thing. Check your voter registration, darling. Na, 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 na. Yeah. Yeah. Please share the broadcast. We'll be on this morning, and it would be great to have people, lots of them. I have he was a rescue, or like a shelter puppy, and I got him 13 years ago, and he's going to be, well, he's 13, I think, this year, maybe 14. I don't know. I can't remember. I got him in 2011, and he appears to be a mix of a rat terrier and a chihuahua. And if you don't know rat terriers, they're the most amazing dogs on the planet. I had another shelter dog who was a rat terrier who passed away because of a spinal injury. Like, it was so weird. Like, small dogs sometimes are prone to spine injuries. Be careful. Not injury, but it was like a whatever. Anyway, it kind of got crazy. But the rat terrier is such a beautiful breed. It's the sweetest. Oh, he's totally old. Oh my God. He's totally old, and he's annoying. He's a grumpy old man. He's losing his teeth. You know, small dogs have real teeth problems, and I'm terrible at brushing his teeth. So do the math. But yeah, but he's happy, and he's active. So I think he's going to outlive us all, frankly. No, my teeth will be all gone before he dies. But yeah, he's an old codger. But he's a good pup. He's a great pup, actually. He's a sweetheart. And that's the thing. Rat Terrier as a breed, I have found incredibly sweet, incredibly loyal. Don't bark a lot. They don't bark a lot. They don't bark at all. They're not yippy. They're not biters. They're not anything. Well, actually, that's not true. One time, my old rat terrier, I tried to get a picture with Santa. Oh boy, he bit Santa. He did. He literally bit Santa. It wasn't bad because Santa was wearing like a big glove, you know, so he just like got his fingers or something, you know. But yeah, he bit Santa. Santa was very gracious about it. I have to say, Santa was a champion. So we were really pleased to have that. Santa was really nice. But, let me try and pull up another screen. So we have two screens going and we can watch SCOTUS blog. What time is it? What even? Okay, 6:54. Okay, well, we're not totally out of sync here. You're all I ever wanted. Let me do this. Meep. I just wanted to look at the outside to see if anything fun was happening. Any protesters? Doesn't appear to be anybody. I mean, there's some people, but there's not a lot of people. Oh, well, you're all I ever wanted. Oops, that's not what I want. Okay, so that's that. Fine. No problem. You're all I ever needed. Oh. My friend has a Shih Tzu and its eyeball popped out. Okay. That's not uncommon. It is common. I've heard that. It is. I have heard that. It's terrible. Okay, wait. Where's this other box? You're all I ever needed. Oh, yeah. Oh. Let me see if I can find. Yeah. What was I looking for? Uh-oh. What was I looking for? Shit. Hopefully SEAL Team 6 is deployed around in case there is immunity. Yes. I wonder. I mean, really. Thank you for that. Good morning, Lolo. My hands. Hi, SB. I'm glad you're listening. My daughter's dog is 16 and she rescued from a roommate. They left a dog in a cage for 15 hours a day. Oh, the babies. See, this is the thing about animals and children. Like they can't control their surroundings. And the fact that they don't have that control is so, like, that's what gets me every time. Like, I just can't stand the thought of someone not having, you know what I mean? Like, it's just something that really gets to me. That really makes me anxious and mad. Butterflies, your daughter is awesome. Oh, what the babies. Taking care of the babies. All right, I was looking for something else. Now, what was I looking for? Oh, I know what I was looking for. Dumb. Oh, so dumb. You're so dumb. You're so dumb. Okay. Smoke weed every day. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. In a second. Hold on, please. Hold on, everybody. We're gonna get there. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, I said. Okay, wait. Here, this is what I want. You're all I ever wanted. You're all I ever needed. Yeah. So tell me what I wanted. I don't know. You can't really see that, can you? 2 boxes, which is pretty much what we would have expected. Remember that there are a number of different ways the court could rule in the presidential immunity case, so even once we get it, it may take a few minutes to figure out what's going on. That's what the SCOTUS blog says. That's what the SCOTUS blog says. That's what the SCOTUS blog said. Waiting for Amy. I don't know what Amy might mean something about the SCOTUS blog. Oh, I really don't want my eye. Give me coffee. Hello. Just a few minutes. Oh, they're walking it down the street. Oh. It's like the Fed watch, you know. The Fed watch. I'm just like late today. Today's my late day. I'm going to be late for things. I'm all I ever wanted. Wow. Saw someone describe what TV reporters do with their copy of the Fresh Opinion as analysis. Really? That's cool. Good morning, Ish. Hi, CF. How are you? It's good to see you. Oh. Amy against waiting. I feel like now there's nothing left to do but wait. So I'm going to go in the press room and wait for the first opinion. All right. All right, Amy. I enjoyed another of your songs today, Oomph. It was lovely. Oh, yeah. Oomph has a lot of music on his channel now. Please go to Oomph Caval Rest. Let me drop the channel, actually. To be frank, common sense, you cannot give elected official carte blanche to do anything they want. I know. See, this is why I think they could carve out things. You know, they could carve out things like, I don't know. They could make some special carve out. You know how they did with like Watergate or something like that? Or I don't know what. Something happened like that. I don't know. That was probably pretty dumb. Maybe not. Uh-oh. I don't want you to be there. I want you to be here. Wah! Not there. I want you to be here. Oh man, I always forget what I'm doing. Oh, I know what I was doing. Never mind. I'm just gonna, whoa! I don't like that. Stop it. Why are you doing that? Okay, that. Do 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 do. Oops. Spelling. 6-3. 6-3 with Jackson dissenting. Joined by, what is this? Okay, well, hello. Tell us which one that is, Amy. Oh, hello. There is Oomph's channel. At Oomph Caval Rest 4832. Please subscribe. Like and subscribe. Let me copy that and drop it in the chat. Oh, I have to sign in to do it. Damn it. It's not letting me easily drop things in chat, but here, I'll hold on. Let me see if I can. I don't think I want to do that. I don't want to do, oh, okay. Well, actually, I do want to do that. So here is his, I got it. I figured it out. Look at me. Look at me. Don't look at me. Of course. Please do subscribe to Oomph. He creates so much art. Like, all those things are curated. All that music is curated. There's a lot that goes into it. So please support your local artist. Please and thank you. The court holds that a claim under the Administrative Procedure Act to challenge an agency action first comes into being when the plaintiff is injured by final agency action. This was a challenge to the Federal Reserve Board rule that was issued well before the plaintiff, in this case, a truck stop and convenience store in North Dakota, opened for business. That a claim under the to challenge is into being. First comes into being. How about Trump's plane being parked by? Yeah, how about that, butterflies? How about that? How about 2 planes on a tarmac? One from Russia. I guess. Maybe they're just going to do the boring cases. Oh, I'm sorry. That's all we're going to do. Oh, there was another one? Okay, well, we'll do that later. Thank you. Great job, butterflies. There you go. Woo, 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 woo. Drop your channel. promoting channels all over the place. Hey, man, it's a collective. This whole life, this life we live, it's a collective. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Is this the holiday weekend? See, I don't really know. Oh, here we go. The government argued that the 6-year statute of limitations had already passed and Corner Post could not challenge the rule. But the court today holds that because Corner Post filed its challenge within 6 years of when it was injured, the challenge was not barred by the statute of limitations. 3 planes. Oh, the Saudis were Saudis there or someone else? Who was that? Julie, do you know which country that plane was? Do you know? Hi, Muskie. But the cat insisted on using the keyboard first. Yes, cat. Yes, UAE. Okay. Interesting. God, Pepper. Saudis and UAE. Oh, man. What's happening now? What's happening? We are so blown out. We are so blown out about Joe's performance speaking, which reminded me of every speech he's been giving, by the way. So I don't know why Thursday was any different. It seemed like every speech he's given in the last 3 months is, you know, this is who he is. Like, I don't know. Yeah, United Arab Emirates. But I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know who else. It was MBS or MBZ, I guess. I don't know. We're not blown out. We're energized. Yeah, the thing is I'm not blown out. Here's the thing. Whatever happens is going to happen. We're still going to vote. And the thing about it is if everyone is clutching their pearls about oh man. If everyone is clutching their pearls about a speech performance, when the man has a record, might have said Saudis, when the man has a record of actually passing legislation that helps people. So help me understand this. You've got a guy who is showing signs of aging or whatever he's dealing with, surrounded by smart people, and that team has passed perhaps what will be looked back on as some of the most significant legislation of this decade. And everybody is freaking out because the old guy got up there and did what he did. And they had to freak out and go, CNN changed the lighting and CNN did this and he should step down and this. Exactly. It's only July 1st, Neil. And here's the thing. This overreaction to everything and the underreaction to things like a candidate. No, we're not. I'm sorry. I'm not really talking about that. But what I'm talking about is the fact, I'm sorry. My point really is that you're freaking out about things like that, but you don't freak out about things like who's he meeting with on a tarmac from Russia? That you should worry about. He literally tried to stop the peaceful transfer of power. Now I know we have to prove that. I get it. I want our day in court. And never mind, it's still basically the fact that it's by design. Hi Jen. That there's no reaction. There's an overreaction to that, but there's an underreaction to the man who cheated on his finances in order to win an election, then kept documents that don't belong to him, And we're freaking out over the old guy? What? What? Like, okay. Yeah, media's on the other team. I mean, I've almost stopped trying to ask myself why everything is enabling this, hurtling us towards fascism. So I was, the other night, I really felt like, I don't know why, but I was drawn to searching for old Madeleine Albright speeches. And I was listening. I shared a piece of a Madeleine Albright talk at Google, where she talks about history, and she says, I'm a professor. History is important to me. And she went through, at that point, I think it was 2017 when this interview took place. She went through the countries that at that point were more in the authoritarian column, right? So she said, she rattled off all these countries, and then she said, and Russia, and, somewhere else. I can't remember. Somewhere else. And she said, in every case, with the exception of Russia and this other place, where that power was handed or given or whatever to someone else, right? That, oh my gosh, I totally lost my train of thought. Fuck. Okay, hold on. I'm coming back. It'll come back. We aren't getting a pony. We get the workhorse. Yeah. Pony. Biden is the older guy. Trump is 78. I know, he's older than my dog. He's literally older. I wouldn't even vote in my dog. Okay? And I'm certainly not going to vote in. No, I'm just kidding. My dog would be a very bad president, actually. He would be very selfish. If he could do money, if he could cheat on his taxes, he probably would. I'm just saying. Anyway, so, oh boy, it was a really good point, but it's probably not. Maybe it wasn't. Joe Biden is a hero of mine. Trump and the raw power behind him is scarier than anything I could have ever imagined. It keeps me calm and in control because he's calm and coherently in control. Thank you. Thank you. That's right. Thank you, Julie. Well said. Yeah, I don't want to think about what my president's doing, frankly. Remember when all the Republicans called for Mitch to step down after he froze time? Yeah, me either. Oh my God, that's a good one. Give me coffee. That's a good one. Was it a machine? Oh, Madeleine Albright. Yeah, it was a Madeleine Albright point. God damn. Anyway, so I'm drawn. Hi, Lee. It was Madeleine Albright. So Madeleine Albright at this talk at Google was going through all the countries who had like become right-wing, authoritarian, blah, 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 blah. And she said, with two exceptions, blah, 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 those fascists, those despots, they were voted in. She said, so I'm going to remind people that fascism doesn't come always through force. In fact, most of the time, people select it. So that's the point. Yeah, they're really disemboweling agencies with these this Chevron ruling and this corner post ruling. The SCOTUS is basically disemboweling federal agencies from having power to enforce their rules. That's what's happening, folks, just so you know. Yeah, Biden is scrambling SEAL Team 6, right? Hey, man. Bill Clinton, can you hold a crossbow? No, I'm just kidding. Maybe we could do Hunger Games. That would actually be, I mean, at least it'd be fun. Well, for some people, not everybody. We could do Hunger Games with the MAGA politicians, not the people. We don't have to do that. But we could do that with the, let me see if I can make this screen bigger. That's a little better. Okay, the thing I don't like about the SCOTUS blog is all, oh, Jen! Oops, no. Woo! Thanks, Jen. You're so kind. Thank you so much. Thank you. So nice. Yeah. Jen, I love you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Your bird pictures the other day was so amazing. Art music. Oh my gosh. Hello. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. It's so true, Jen. You're so funny. Oh, good morning. Yeah, whisper words of wisdom. Oh, wait, Les Moonves. I wanted to go back to that quote. Max Flower, good morning, my love. What did you say about Les Moonves? Blah, blah, blah. February 2016, Leslie Moonves on Donald Trump. It may not be good for America, but it's damn good for CBS. There you go. That's the ticket. That's the ticket. Yeah, I thought Joe's speech the next day was good. See, the thing is and I know you guys know this. You feel the same. Yes, please smash the like button and share the broadcast. Let's get it going in here. Let's get it going. Oh, yeah. Yeehaw. Yeehaw. Dance to the like. I'm dancing on the like. I'm tap dancing on that like button. Yeah. Let's see. What else was I going to do? No, I guess I don't need to. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Do do diddly doo doo diddly doo doo diddly doo bump bump. Womp womp. Womp womp. Bark bark. Easter bunny bark bark. Is that? Oh, I guess that's a little off. Hold on. Do 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 boop boop. Edit filters. Edit filters right now. Yeah, right now. Oh, that's not right. Thank you. That's not really right either. Okay. Well, actually, I don't need to do that. Okay. Do 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 do. I'm loving it. Oh, I didn't want to do that though. Dang it. What the hell? Sorry, everybody. Sorry, everybody. I'm informed Glory Beef streams from Supreme Court. Are you informed? Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at that. That's better. Yeah. Oops. Oh, that's not right. Should I try Glory Beef? Should I see if... Will there be a stream of Bannon's arrival at prison? J. Rance, what prison is he going to? Do we know? Do we know what prison he's going to be at? We are only going to hear from Justice Jackson, so I would expect... Oh, God, I hate the guessing, okay? I really need the guessing to stop. Oops. I need the guessing to stop. You go. I actually saw someone wearing Trump wig and visor. I wore my Biden Harris. I was tempted to ask him if he had Trump diapers also, but I was... Danbury, that's what I thought. I thought he was going to Connecticut. Margaret Toe and Fishborough broadcasting from Connecticut. Oh, you know what? Let's check that. Hold on. Let me see if I can... why isn't ours... Well, some... Oh, you know what? Oh, I know. Wait, hold on. Too many dicks on the dance floor. Too many dicks. I wonder if Rumble's live streaming his perp walk. Check in with Steve. Hold on, I'm gonna wait until you.
We're Jay O'Neill.
I'm Larry Fleet.
Headed back in. Whoa.
Say goodbye to old costly
Oh
cable
my God.
TV once and
Rumble
for all.
makes you watch
This
ads even
revolutionary
if you
invention
like
gives you access to
are
your favorite
signed
party
up.
and standing in opposition in Labour. So Boris Johnson and the Tories gone, and of course Macron in France. It's been extraordinary. But what happened in France yesterday is absolutely equivalent in 2016, the Brexit vote. Brexit vote happened about the same time. I think it was the 20th of June, and that was a predicate for President Trump's sweeping victory in November
He looks
of
like he's doing
16.
just fine, doesn't he?
The French is the same thing.
Fine.
You see something's happening in the world.
Doesn't
Alternative
he
for
look like
Deutschland.
he's doing just fine? Where is he?
100,000 Antifa.
Where is he?
Bad guys, far leftist radicals with Sharia supremacists and Islamists tried to shut down the Alternative for Deutschland conference over the weekend. AfD is now at 34% polling as I think the leading party in Germany right now when you break down all the different groups. So you see the rise of the Alternative for Deutschland, the right in Germany. You see a crushing win for Le Pen yesterday. First round, second round, she's this close from taking absolute power. That's close from a majority. That'll be next Sunday.
Damn it.
Our own Raheem Kassam will be there in France. He's going to be in the UK on July 4th and 5th. The election's on the 4th, and we'll have plenty. It probably won't be called until late at night. At least the breakdown between Reform Party and the Tories. Labor, it's called for Labor, will happen 2 minutes after the polls close.
Oops.
I'm going to go to Ben Harnwell in a second. Dave
I didn't want to do that.
Your assessment, what's happened in the last 72 hours has been nothing short of breathtakingly historic. From the exposure of the cadaver with Biden on Thursday night, overturning
I put my
Fisher,
Cash App there.
which is going to lead to a major investigation
I like
of
to drop
DOJ
my
and the
Cash
federal
App.
bench. You've got the Chevron deference. The really Lawrence Tribe came out and tweeted. And he's the dean of the left-wing constitutional
Cash App me, hoes.
lawyers. He said
Lolo,
it's the
let
end.
me.
The administrative state died on Friday. Today you've got immunity. Yesterday you had in France a sweeping victory of Front National.
France.
You had Nigel Farage had the first Trump-like rally I've ever seen in the United Kingdom. It actually blew me away. And the momentum of our movement just continues and continues. And of course, the biggest date on the calendar for the lawfare crowd is July 11th, when they're going to sentence President Trump to prison in New York. So we got a lot to come, and I keep telling people it ain't going to stop until we stop it. Dave Brett, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, all the dots you just connected, which is a Herculean task, what you do every day is incredible. But all of those things show a giant cracking in the globalist, elitist
And there was an Antifa dinosaur sighted at Beverly Hills adjacent event. Yes, there was.
The one theme of everything you just mentioned is a return to the American people and to the return of the European people under freedom. Freedom is what underscores all of this. The American people are groaning in freedom.
I love the white on white.
Back in the Old Testament, the central act in the Hebrew scriptures is the Exodus.
Meat rock tonight. What's that?
Freedom from bondage.
What's
the
that
American
mean?
people, the American worker. We have the African American, Hispanic, blue collar
many
workers
people are
coming
groaning,
our way
yes.
toward this populist movement for a reason. They've been shackled by government. There's a border
Why
invasion
am I not smoking
that
weed?
has harmed the middle class of this country. Every court decision you just
Why
said,
am I not smoking weed?
including the Murtha decision, right, on freedom of speech. And the big Facebook
Freedom to be
entities and the
fascist.
social media entities. Biden accused Facebook. People may have
they're so
forgotten
loud.
of killing people. Right?
Why are
the
you
President of the
so
United States accused
fucking
Facebook
loud?
of killing people. And then YouTube.
I know, I forgot to smoke.
These guys
I just got some flour.
People, Alito weighed in on that decision.
Excuse me.
Said it's the most
I got some flour.
free speech case that's made it to the White House in years. And that one they moved over. And so today, I think we're going to get good news on the immunity piece, as Mike just said.
I don't think you can read it. I don't think I can read it. I can't read it.
For any presidency going forward. And
but it's an unboxing.
The current White House
tried to get Haibo's high, so I forgot. I might have been.
President Trump kind of just
I know.
victory,
I love being yelled at.
In the debate.
At least somebody's talking to me.
Made the major points.
That quote, yeah.
And now to watch the mainstream media, right, who's in charge of the truth in this country, not give us the truth for 4 years, and now turn around 180 turnaround by all of them. It's stunning.
Stunning.
Hang on. Now they're going to try to turn around again as they find out Biden can't be removed from the ticket. We have to make the process. We have to make the process so toxic. The Democrat Party process that nobody votes for them. They're down. No matter who they switch him out with, they're down 5. Okay. I'm honored now to be joined. I don't know how these people end up in Danbury. I got the Royce White, the Senate nominated
is
from
he in
the
prison?
Republican
Is he in prison
convention
right
in
now?
Minnesota, running against Amy Klobuchar.
Oh, Royce White's the biggest fucking asshole.
Royce White's at 36. You're closing.
Royce White, you're a fucking dick.
You had the big game down in Baltimore. So how'd you get to Danbury?
I just got in the road and drove up here, man. I wouldn't miss it for
I just got in my Rover and drove up here because I'm richer than you.
Because I love you, brother. Yeah, that's it. I love you. I love the posse.
So tell me, we've had your campaign, the polling came out last week. You're closing on Klobuchar. And I should say, he's closing on Klobuchar with no money.
About.
I mean, this is a true populist campaign. We had that very disturbing incident yesterday in I think, Minnesota with Omar. She had the Somalians there.
Sorry.
You've had Le Pen in France, Alternative for Deutschland in Germany. You've got Nigel in
Nigel.
the UK. Trump, you've seen.
Wait.
You saw what happened in the deconstruct the administrative
Wait.
state. It's all.
Nigel Farage. I watched his Reform Party launch, okay, the other morning, okay? Because I'm a loser, baby. And gout. But he's clean. He's clean. He thinks he's going to take those 3 pens into the clink with him. He's very wrong. He's not going to be taking those pens in with him. They're going to take those pens, Steve. A loser. Is it laid? No. Old school and the bells are ringing because I'm a loser. Because I'm a loser, babe. I was just listening to that song. I was just listening to that song by Beck, which is one of the best songs ever. They will seize les pens. What's a pen? What's a pen? What's a pen in French? Plume. Les plumes. Les plumes. Les plumes. Les plumes. Avoir. Avoir la plume. Avoir la plume. I will. Le plume. The stylo. The stylo. That's right. Stylo. Stylo. Le stylo? Yeah, it must be. Hopefully no broadcast. I mean, really, come on now. Is he literally in his cell right now? Does he have like an uplight in his cell or something? Le stylo. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So les stylo. Les stylo. Les trois stylo. Trois stylo. Steve Bannon, never surrender. 1 shirt, 0 pens. That's right, baby. And read it. I'm going around right now. Oh, God. Okay. Damn it. Okay. Let's just make sure I can't keep dropping.
The 2 referendum. Look, after the
look.
The other day,
when they say look, you just stop listening. Okay.
What about the debate, right?
He's at the garden supply place.
Because you've got the on your
Wait, what?
Out there in the audience that want to boo, but they
What's this?
Because I'm tough as nails, right? But I think the 2 referendums for the black community.
People come up to you and say about that debate. They're shocked.
Everybody came up to me.
All right.
Everybody came up.
He has till 6 p.m. Thank you. Thank you.
I said, what do you think?
Thank you.
Joe Biden got smoked.
When they go steal low, we go high low, high low. Kiatu, Roger Lapin. Lapin. Is that a bunny? Roger Bunny? Roger Rabbit. Oh, Roger Rabbit. Okay, I get it. I get it. Who stole Roger Rabbit? Lapin. Lapin. What the fuck is he not being arraigned? I want to see them take away his wallet and his pens. I know. Like, I just want to see him take away the pens. I just want to see him take away the pens. I just want to see him take away the pens. That's all. That's all. That's all I want.
2 of the key items.
I'm not trying to ask for more than I deserve.
It's fueling your Senate run in Minnesota.
Well, what's really fueling my Senate run in Minnesota?
Who killed Roger Rabbit? Oh, who killed? Yeah, that's right. Not took. I don't know.
The precinct strategy.
Lapin.
People went in.
Rabbit. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. Who's the dude with Bannon? Okay, let me tell you about the dude with Bannon. I'm glad you asked. That is Royce White. And he has been a Bannon mouthpiece for a few years. I want the cavity search televised. I want the camera that's actually going up his anus. I want that view. No, I'm just kidding. I don't. I don't need to see what's up there. I know what's up there. I don't need to see what's up there. Royce White is a douchebag, and I think he used to be an athlete, and now he's running against Amy Klobuchar, and he's a fucking idiot. He's so stupid, and he's actually a fucking racist, and he's actually a fucking bigot. He's a horrible homophobic transphobe. Horrible. So he's a fucking idiot. So that's who Royce White is, and he's not worth the paper he's printed on. Let's put it that way. They will show him going there. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's what I was going to look for. I was going to look for RSBN to see if I could find him going in, but I turned him down quite a bit. Okay, wait.
On Thursday.
Oh. Immunity decision. God damn it. Link is working, but it appears to be under strain. A federal grand jury held under our constitutional structure of separated nature of presidential powers entitles president absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for actions within his conclusive and preclusive constitutional authority. And he is entitled to act at least presumptive immunity from prosecution for all his official acts. There is no immunity for unofficial acts. This case is the first criminal prosecution in our nation's history. Determining whether and under what circumstances such a prosecution may proceed requires careful assessment under the scope of the Constitution. Nature of that power requires a former president to have some immunity from criminal prosecution for official acts during his tenure in office. At least with respect to the president's exercise of his core constitutional powers, this immunity must be absolute. As for his remaining office official actions, he is entitled to at least presumptive immunity. Article 2 of the Constitution vests executive power in a president of the United States. President has duties of unrivaled gravity and breadth. Blah, blah, blah. In the latter case, the president's authority is sometimes conclusive and preclusive. When the president exercises such authority, Congress cannot act on and courts cannot examine the president's actions. It follows that an act of Congress, either a specific one targeted at the president or a generally applicable one, may not criminalize the president's actions within his exclusive constitutional power. Neither may the courts adjudicate a criminal prosecution that examines such presidential actions. The court thus concludes that the president is absolutely immune from criminal prosecution for conduct within his exclusive sphere of constitutional authority. Not all the president's official acts fall within his conclusive and preclusive authority. The reasons that justify the president's absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for acts within the scope of his exclusive constitutional authority do not extend to conduct in areas where his authority is shared with Congress. To determine the president's immunity in this context, the court looks primarily to the framers' design of the presidency within the separation of powers precedent on presidential immunity in the civil context in criminal cases, blah. The framers designed the presidency to provide for a vigorous and energetic executive. I'm going to just skip to see if I can get... Okay, they're going into history and precedent, so I'm just kind of skipping through the precedent. Taking into account these competing considerations, the court concludes that the separation of powers principles explicated in the court's precedent necessitate at least a presumptive immunity from criminal prosecution for a president's acts within the outer perimeter of his official responsibility. Such an immunity is required to safeguard the independence and effective functioning of the executive branch and to enable the president to carry out his constitutional duties without undue caution. At a minimum, the president must be immune from prosecution for an official act unless the government can show that applying a criminal prohibition to that act would pose no dangers of intrusion on the authority of the functions of the executive branch. As for a president's unofficial acts, there is no immunity. Although presidential immunity is required for official actions to ensure that the president's decision-making is not distorted. I can't read chat right now, so please, you guys need to figure out what I'm saying. Well, this is the thing. As for, okay, there's no immunity. The president's decision-making is not distorted by the threat of future litigation stemming from those actions. That concern does not support immunity for unofficial conduct. Clinton's quoted. The separation of powers does not bar prosecution predicated on the president's unofficial acts. The first step in deciding whether a former president is entitled to immunity from a particular prosecution is to distinguish his official from unofficial actions. In this case, no court thus far has drawn that distinction, in general or with respect to the conduct alleged in the particular. It is therefore incumbent upon the court to be mindful that it is a court of final review and not first view. Critical threshold issues in this case are how to differentiate between a president's official and unofficial actions and how to do so with respect to the indictment's extensive and detailed allegations covering a broad range of conduct. The court offers guidance on those issues. When the president acts pursuant to constitutional and statutory authority, he takes official action to perform the functions of his office. Okay, determining whether an action is covered by immunity and thus begins with assessing the president's authority to take that action. But the breadth of the president's discretionary responsibilities under the Constitution and the laws of the United States frequently make it difficult to determine which of this innumerable functions encompassed a particular action. Okay, in dividing official from unofficial, courts may not inquire in dividing official from unofficial conduct, courts may not inquire into the president's motives. Such a highly intrusive inquiry would risk exposing even the most obvious instances of official conduct to judicial examination on the mere allegation of improper purpose. Nor may courts deem an action unofficial merely because it allegedly violates a generally applicable law. Otherwise, presidents would be subject to trial on every allegation that an action was unlawful, depriving immunity of its intended effect. With the above principles in mind, the court turns to the conduct alleged in the indictment. Certain allegations, such as those involving Trump's discussions with the acting attorney general, are readily categorized in light of the nature of the president's official relationship to the office held by that individual. Other allegations, such as those involving Trump's interactions with the vice president, state officials, and certain private parties, and his comments to the general public, present more difficult questions. The indictment alleges that as part of their conspiracy to overturn the legitimate results of the 2020 election, Trump and his co-conspirators attempted to leverage the Justice Department's power and authority to convince certain states to replace their legitimate electors with Trump's fraudulent slates of electors. According to the indictment, Trump met with the acting attorney general and other senior Justice Department and White House officials to discuss investigating purported election fraud and sending letters from the department to those states regarding such fraud. The indictment further alleges that after the acting attorney general resisted Trump's requests, Trump repeatedly threatened to replace him. The government does not dispute that the indictment's allegations regarding the Justice Department involve Trump's use of official power. The allegations, in fact, plainly implicate Trump's conclusive and preclusive authority. The executive branch has exclusive authority and absolute discretion to decide which crimes to investigate and prosecute, including with respect to all allegations of election crime. And the president's management of the executive branch requires him to have unrestricted power to remove the most important of his subordinates, such as the attorney general, in their most important duties. The indictment's allegations that the requested investigations were shams or proposed for an improper purpose do not divest the president of exclusive authority over the investigative and prosecutorial functions of the Justice Department and its officials. Because the president cannot be prosecuted for conduct within his exclusive constitutional authority, Trump is absolutely immune from prosecution on the alleged conduct involving his discussions with Justice Department officials. I knew they were going to carve out. The indictment next alleges that Trump and his co-conspirators attempted to enlist the vice president in his ceremonial role in the in particular, the indictment alleges several conversations in which Trump pressured the vice president to reject states' legitimate electoral votes and send it back to the state legislatures for review. Whenever the president and vice president discuss their official responsibilities, they engage in official conduct, presiding over the January 6th certification proceeding at which members of Congress count electoral votes as a constitutional and statutory duty of the vice president. The indictment's allegations that Trump attempted to pressure the vice president to take particular acts in connection with his role at the certification proceeding thus involve official conduct, and Trump is at least presumptively immune from prosecution for such conduct. The question then becomes whether the presumption of immunity is rebutted under the circumstances. It is the government's burden to rebut the presumption of immunity. Okay, so this is where they can bring the case. They have to prove their case in court. It is the government's burden to rebut the court therefore remands the district court to assess in the first instance whether a prosecution involving Trump's alleged attempts to influence the vice president's oversight of the certification proceeding would pose any dangers of intrusion on the authority and functions of the executive branch. The indictment's remaining allegations involve Trump's interactions with persons outside the executive branch, state officials, private parties, and the general public. In particular, the indictment alleges that Trump and his co-conspirators attempted to convince certain state officials that election fraud had tainted the popular vote count in their states, and thus electoral votes for Trump's opponent needed to be changed to electoral votes for Trump. After Trump failed to convince those officials to alter their state processes, he and his co-conspirators allegedly developed and effectuated a plan to submit fraudulent slates of electors to obstruct the certification proceeding. On Trump's view, the alleged conduct qualifies as official because it was undertaken to ensure the integrity and proper administration of the federal election. As the government sees it, however, Trump can point to no plausible source of authority enabling the president to take such actions. Determining whose characterization may be correct and with respect to which conduct requires a fact-specific analysis of the indictment's extensive and interrelated allegations. The court accordingly remands to the district court to determine in the first instance whether Trump's conduct in this area qualifies as official or unofficial. The indictment also contains various allegations regarding Trump's conduct in connection with the events of January 6 itself. The alleged conduct largely consists of Trump's communications in the form of tweets and a public address. What about the fact that he didn't take care of the fucking union? You know? The indictment also contains various allegations regarding Trump's conduct in connection with the alleged conduct largely consists of Trump's communications in the form of tweets and a public address. The president possesses extraordinary power to speak to his fellow citizens and on their behalf. So, most of a president's public communications are likely to fall comfortably within the outer perimeter of his official responsibilities. There may be, however, contexts in which the president speaks in an unofficial capacity, perhaps as a candidate for office or as a party leader. To the extent that may be the case, objective analysis of content, form, and context will necessarily inform the inquiry. Whether the communications alleged in the indictment include official conduct may depend on the content and context of each. This necessarily fact-bound analysis is best performed initially by the district court. The court therefore remands to the district court to determine in the first instance whether this alleged conduct is official or unofficial. The president cannot be indicted based on conduct for which they are immune from prosecution. On remand, the district court must carefully analyze the indictment's remaining allegations to determine whether they too involve conduct for which a president must be immune from prosecution. And the parties in the district court must ensure that sufficient allegations support the indictment's charges without such conduct. Testimony on private records of the president and or his advisors probing such conduct may not be admitted as evidence at trial. Testimony or private records of the president or his advisors probing such conduct may not be admitted as evidence at trial. What does that mean for the flippers? Trump asserts a far broader immunity than the limited one the court recognizes, contending that the indictment must be dismissed because the impeachment judgment clause requires that impeachment and Senate conviction precede a president's criminal prosecution. But the text of the clause does not address whether and on what conduct a president may be prosecuted if he was ever impeached and convicted. Historical evidence likewise lends little support to Trump's position. The Federalist Papers on which Trump relies concerned the checks available against a sitting president, and they did not endorse or even consider whether the impeachment judgment clause immunizes a former president from prosecution. Transforming the political process of impeachment into a necessary step in the enforcement of criminal law finds little support in the text of the Constitution. The government takes a similarly broad view, contending that the president enjoys no immunity from criminal prosecution on any action. You know what? Let's make this a little bigger. Come on now. Come on now. Come on, baby. You're driving me crazy. Oh, my God. Why? Okay, fine. Whatever. I got to move this over a little bit so I can see. Beep. All right. Contending that the president enjoys no immunity from criminal prosecution for any action on its view as applied. I don't think they said that. On its view as applied challenges in the course of the trials suffice to protect Article 2 interests, and review of the district court's decisions on such challenges should be deferred until after trial. But questions about whether the president may be held liable for particular actions consistent with the separation of powers must be addressed at the outset of a proceeding. Even if the president were ultimately not found liable for certain official actions, the possibility of an extended proceeding alone may render him unduly cautious in the discharge of his official duties. The Constitution does not tolerate such impediments to the effective functioning of government. This case poses a question of lasting significance. When may a former president be prosecuted for official acts taken during his presidency? In answering that question, unlike the political branches and the public at large, the court cannot afford to fixate exclusively or even primarily on present exigencies. Enduring separation of powers principles guide our decision in this case. The president enjoys no immunity for his unofficial acts, and not everything the president does is official. The president is not above the law. But under our system of separated powers, the president may not be prosecuted for exercising his core constitutional powers, and he is entitled to at least presumptive immunity from prosecution for his official acts. That immunity applies equally to all occupants. All right. Well, that's it, babes. That's the gist of it. Now, let me come back to you all. Let's see what...
On Thursday, we'll be at the Fed.
The government can't do that. It's a clear violation. It's an egregious violation of the First Amendment. And just so disappointed. And I can remember when Kavanaugh's vote
Let's hear the
was coming up,
tears.
and he's been largely good, but I wasn't eager. But the thing is once he's appointed by a Republican president, you sort of, unless he's just so awful, you can't vote for him. But we could have done better. I mean, Gorsuch was a great pick in the beginning. Alito's good. Thomas is good. And really, the rest hang in the balance. They're sometimes good on Chevron, but on this First Amendment, I mean, so it's such a disappointment that Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett went with the liberals.
Senator Paul, I know you got to bounce, but one last thing. As you've seen Fauci go around on TV, and you remember his testimony, including in front of you, do you think he perjured himself in front of both the Senate and
trial
the House,
goes forward.
sir? In testimony, sworn testimony?
Remanded back to the district court.
He committed a felony. He lied to Congress. And the reason he lied is we have an email, a Slack email from
doesn't anyone have preemptive
immunity? 2020, at which time he says, we're very worried that this virus is manipulated. We think it came from the lab.
Oh, he's got to talk about Fauci.
Lab does gain-of-function research.
Shut up,
and
Rand.
he described the research that we're doing.
All right, let's see if we can find any more tears. Hold on.
Research that was being funded by the NIH. So he's basically called himself out in private emails, but then in public they've done the opposite. There's probably never before in our history been a cover-up where it was so completely and
they have to talk about Fauci
to the public because we got all their emails.
They're so sad. It's scary. Sotomayor's dissent is scary. Let's see if we can find it.
The House should have subpoenaed his phone records. They should have subpoenaed his private Gmail. He says he didn't use them, but we got this other one.
Well, if he wins, all bets are off.
He was his assistant for 20 years.
If he wins, all bets are off.
I know how to delete them. The FOIA lady taught me how to delete
Let
them.
me see if I can find.
We know that they were actually putting terms in. So if they didn't want EcoHealth, this is the group that funded the research in Wuhan. If they didn't want EcoHealth to be pulled up in a FOIA search, they would change the spelling to, instead of ECO, they'd do EC $ or EC number. And so if you misspell words, you
Orders
can trick
the Navy
the FOIA, and the FOIA only works in an exact way. So what they started doing was purposely misspelling words. Christian
really?
Anderson, the guy that got a $9 million grant from Fauci after he switched his mind on whether it came from the lab. They started spelling Christian Anderson by changing the vowels to $, which I think has a great deal of irony.
I have no idea what's happening.
Turns out he was bought for $9 million. So it's so much went on, but the biggest danger is, and Robert Redfield agrees with me on this, is that this could happen again. And it could be a much worse virus the next time around. They have viruses that they're working on in the lab that have between 15 and 50% mortality. If that happens, it's a civilization potentially ending kind of occurrence. But it also is something that might set civilization back 200 or 300 years. And all you got to do is read about the 14th century and the plague in the 14th century to know what it's like when a third of Europe died.
Senator Paul, the book is Deception, the COVID cover-up. Everybody watch this and read it, because there's going to be a massive investigation of Tony Fauci in the not-too-distant future that I believe will lead to multiple criminal referrals. Senator Paul, how do people get you? How do they get the book? How do they follow you on social media?
There's the sad.
They can find me at randpaul.com.
There's the sad people.
We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram.
There's the sad people.
Where books can be purchased, which I like that description. It's available wherever books are purchased, but any place online you can get the book. And
the party's over.
The story, when you bring it all together, is
it's
really
time
the story
to call
of exactly what went on.
it a
You know so much of what went on behind the scenes. But without question, Anthony Fauci was guilty. I referred him twice to Merrick Garland. And still people say, well, why
I can't
is he
find
not
her.
prosecuted? Because
is she there? I mean, I can't find her.
Basically, and I think we have political prosecutions in our country, as you're well aware of. And
none of this dinglings can do basic math. 203 and it's from the 14th century. You know what? I got to get rid of Rand Paul, because
Senator
he's
Rand
not talking
Paul
about shit that I want to talk
Thank you very
about.
much, sir. Honor to have you on here.
Honor to have you on.
Thanks,
Give me a
guys.
fucking break.
Deception, the COVID cover-up. Fauci is.
Aren't you going to talk about immunity? What's the matter, Steve? Why aren't you talking about? Bye. Why aren't you talking about immunity, Steve-O? Come on. What's the problem? What's the Real America's voice. Yeah. What do we do? Sorry, I have to go through ads. Goobers of gout, exactly. It's time to call it a day. Yes, time to call it a day.
It's Mark Cuban, and I'm excited to share with you a miracle quit smoking.
Mark Cuban, what are you doing?
Yeah, on COVID, the pandemic. Do we have Mike? Can we go back to Mike Davis?
Oh my
Is
God,
Mike
you're
Davis
on
still
this one
the,
too?
Steps of the Supreme Court.
Oh, here we go.
Mike, Senator Paul
Mike
had
Davis.
the question.
He's a
You've
big,
got
big dick.
absolute immunity on official acts and nothing on non-official acts. Is that what you anticipate? I thought you were thinking about a limited immunity. Is that what this is, or is this absolute immunity? Does this cover President Trump?
No.
So the Supreme Court
6-3
held that the President of the United States has absolute immunity for his core constitutional responsibilities. He has a rebuttable presumption of immunity for his official acts outside of his core constitutional responsibilities, and he has no immunity for his personal acts. And this is exactly what we've been saying that the Supreme Court should do and would do for several months.
Oh my God! I can't find my weed grinder.
Jack Smith has brought
God
with this
damn it.
radical judge Chutkan. Where does this put us? They've overturned Fisher, but you still have this. So is President Trump, is he immune for his acts on leading up to January 6th and January 6th, or is this still a question?
Well, I would say this. There are going to be some acts that are immune and some acts that are not immune. The Fisher decision gutted two of four of the Jack Smith charges against President Trump
bullshit.
for
Who
January
cares?
6th. These bogus
Yeah,
charges
that's
against
malarkey.
President Trump for the non-crime of objecting to a presidential election, which is allowed by the Electoral Count Act of 1887 and the First Amendment. And then you have the issue of
I can't find
the
my
two
grinder.
remaining charges, whether he's immune. For example, Jack Smith alleged that President Trump was contemplating firing his acting
It's up
attorney
to Tanya
general.
now.
Well, guess what? Under the Constitution, only the President of the United States can do that. So that seems like he would be
Where's my
absolutely
grinder?
immune
No, I'm just kidding.
for that. They also talked about the the President not moving fast enough. Well, if he's not moving fast enough, that might be his official act, where he is presumptively immune from criminal prosecution, and then Jack Smith would have to put on evidence to rebut that presumption and show that he's not immune and he should be charged based upon that part of
that's what you're saying. You're saying stop being a baby.
That would require what
Where's
basically
that tech
the
boy
bottom
when I
line
need him,
is
right?
This is going to get remanded back to
he has my
DC
grinder.
Judge Tanya Chutkan. As I said, they're going to hold a mini trial, an evidentiary hearing, as I've been saying. This case is going to, they're not going to get the judgment on this case probably for another month. This case is going to, the bottom line, this case is not going to get tried before the election. This lawfare, this election interference by President Biden and Merrick Garland and Jack Smith and Jay Bratt and all these other Biden Democrat prosecutors is crumbling. The House of Cards is crumbling. Trump's going to win the White House. All the lawfare is going to go away, and then Trump should open a criminal probe on day one. His acting attorney general
now I'm going to use my
should
fingers.
open a criminal probe on day one for this obvious criminal conspiracy to violate the constitutional rights of Trump, his top aides like Peter Navarro, who's in prison, like you, Steve Bannon, who's heading to prison at noon. His lawyers,
noon? He's going
like
in
John
early?
Eastman and Jeff
On the positive
Clark,
side,
his
maybe this will
supporters
shut up
on
the
January
debate crap.
6th.
Yeah, it's
President
true.
Biden
It
has
will.
politicized
It will.
and weaponized
Guaranteed,
his
Karen.
Justice Department.
Guaranteed.
And he
We're
has
moving on.
received
Joe really
two
did that the next
major
day when he gave
rebukes by
the barn
Supreme
burner.
Court, over the last several days in the Fisher case
The
and now in
barn
this
ripper.
presidential
The
immunity
bodice
case.
ripper speech.
That's pretty extraordinary, right? To just that's a complete face job, right?
Well,
on
it
a
just means
prosecutor
I think we're going to have some
basically blown
trials,
out
but I don't
on
think
two
we're going to be able
charges
to see them.
at this high
What?
level going against the
Look at
president
this
of the United
bitch.
States.
Look at that bitch.
Yeah, so Merrick
Tintin.
Garland, Lisa Monaco,
Tintin
the
is
Deputy
there.
Attorney General,
Aww.
Vanita
Hi,
Gupta at the
Tintin. I
time,
miss
the
you.
Associate
I miss you,
Attorney General,
Tintin.
Kristen
You're not on
Clark,
RSBN
the
anymore,
Assistant
but you
Attorney
still look
General
like
for Civil
Tintin.
Rights, Matthew Graves, the D.C. U.S. Attorney.
Lolo's on
Jack
Grindr?
Smith,
No.
the
But I need a
special
Grindr.
counsel, Jay Bratt, his counselor.
He looks
and
like
goon.
Tintin.
All of
Come
these
on now,
people
that
are
hair.
bad actors who should be the target of this
Wait, I gotta do
obvious
this.
probe of this obvious criminal conspiracy. I would say to these bad actors, you better lawyer up, because there are going to be severe legal, political, and financial consequences come January 20th, 2025. Nobody is above the law, right?
Nobody's above the law. Just hang on right there, Mike. Dave's going to come right back to you in a minute. Got another special guest here in the. I got a pretty good crew to here today. Eric Prince, soldier of fortune. What brings you here, brother?
I'm here in solidarity with you, Steve.
What the fuck?
This is absolutely ridiculous.
You shouldn't. I can't believe you did this. You flew in early this morning, right?
I am here.
From parts unknown.
I am here because this is absolutely ridiculous. You don't belong here. I'm also here because I know the Department of Injustice would gladly put me in next to you if they had a chance. And this is ridiculous. The weaponization of the myriad laws and nonsense of the U.S. government is it's got to change. And
really? What has it got to change to?
Tend to swing back. And I think it's important for the people on the other side that have been
not
abusing
working very well.
their power, that sometimes pendulums can swing like a scythe.
Are you like a sit through? Are you seeing the pendulum shift in Germany and in France and in Europe? I know you spend a lot of time over
Absolutely. The
What the
European
hell?
voters
How the
are
hell is he
sick
broadcasting?
of the
Yeah.
globalist leftist nonsense. They're rejecting
destroying their nations.
They're rejecting runaway migration and the welfare and the nonsense and elections must have consequences.
Are you seeing that here too with the invasion of the southern border? You think that's what you're talking about, the pendulum swinging?
Yes, and I think people are going to expect President Trump to
Eric fucking Prince,
the millions
Prince of
illegal
Darkness.
people that showed up here unwelcome, unannounced, and enough. And if borders are supposed to be a delineation of sovereignty, of different methods, of different paradigms of governance, and if our border means nothing, then I
don't even know where to look for Tintin anymore.
If we import the
I don't even know what channel he's on anymore.
The nonsense that goes on in Mexico and the rest of. Look, I don't blame
Eric Prince is
people wanting to come
dangerous,
here,
and look at
but they
him.
come
He's
here
out
through a
front
proper
now.
Procedure,
He just goes
not
on TV
because they
like a
paid
normal
cartel
person.
$20,000.
You're one of the people that first, would brief President Trump.
He's got the porn stash.
Even in the early days,
Eric
maybe
Prince
he
got
didn't
the
fully
porn
realize
stash
about
going
the deep
on.
state. What is your recommendation when we win this second time?
I'm a cowboy, babe.
Trump,
There's Margie. She's in Danbury.
And what is he now? The Supreme Court's
There's
laid
Margie.
out
She's not
the
at the
ability
Supreme
to
Court.
deconstruct
She's
the
at
administrative
she's
state.
at Danbury.
What do you do with the most dangerous part of that? The
with her
national security,
boyfriend,
the intelligence, the law enforcement. That
Who's
really
the guy
is
in
the
the white
Praetorian
shirt?
Guard of the ruling class in
does
the
he look
imperial
like a
capital.
like?
I think if he draws
He's
from the same
Tintin security
pool
or something?
of DC connected people as last time,
Well,
he will be
yeah, I
again
guess
sorely
that's true.
disappointed
It's not a normal
because
show.
There's a lot of options given to the president to.
Isn't he
to
nervous
get
being
us
that
off
close to a
the,
prison?
The road
That
of endless
handsome
war.
Steve may not survive
And,
prison. How much of a
particularly in
liability is he?
Afghanistan,
I don't
and
know.
extorted by the
I don't know. I don't think he's
thousands
that
of
much of a
lobbyists
liability,
and
frankly.
their-
Think tanks.
Yeah, the
and
Prince
think
of
tanks
Darkness.
and the
Fucking
NGOs and Senator Paul in the previous segment was right. We must control the power of the purse.
We must control. We must improve our bust.
Organizations need to be
we
zeroed
must.
out.
We must improve
There
our
needs to
bust.
be a run
Call that a
on
prince?
moving
Yeah,
bans,
exactly.
Moving people away from Washington.
A
DC.
mercenary.
So
I know.
you
They
think
don't.
you really take
They
a,
don't
you
lie
really gotta
anymore
start
about what they
breaking
do.
apart
He
things like
works
the
with the
FBI,
U.S.
CIA,
government.
Things that have worked against
Eric
the
Prince
interests of the
works
American
for the
people.
U.S. government.
Any organization that has unlimited funds thrown at it, and really because
military
of GWOT,
uses
there's been
his people.
a lot of spending in the national security space.
The global
war
against terror.
The global war on terror.
Yep.
That there's a
Crazy.
massive bloat. The CIA, for example, really has the same amount of case officers that they did in 1980, yet the administrative staff, the support, has gone up by 20 and 30-fold. And that's where you get all the nonsense of all the political correctness and the hand-wringing and people that are not focused on actually collecting intelligence on what our enemies are doing, but instead meddling in U.S. politics. That has to go. And that can go because the next director... Civil service rules don't apply at the CIA, so the next director can...
Tell people about that. The civil service does not apply. They've hid behind that for a long time. But the civil service rules do not apply to the Central Intelligence.
It's a unique aspect of the CIA from when it was formed, that it is not... those employees can be discharged immediately. So the next CIA director can clean up the organization in days and weeks, not months.
What about the 51, just as the tip, the 51 that signed the letter
famous bastion
during the heat of the 2020 campaign saying that the that everything
Hunter's laptop
was all Russian information. Should they have security clearances pulled like
There's a guy sitting in prison here because of it.
As a starter?
At minimum, their clearances need to be pulled, and there is way too many cleared people in Washington. The whole thing is
Biden-Harris,
just so
2024.
big. You wonder why there's leaks and there's a lack of seriousness is because the whole thing is massively obese. Pare the whole thing down.
Do you think there need to be investigations and potential criminal charges for what they did to President Trump in his first term, what they did to protect Biden in the election of 2020, and other things that they have done, particularly like Clapper and Comey, McCabe, and others?
Well, the one problem is there's been such malfeasance of the deep state that the line will be long, and
the line will be long for criminal investigations.
Correct. And so even the right team is going to be task saturated quickly. I think it's important for the national security apparatus to be pared down very quickly.
I just don't think I can tell you
so that they can get on with the business of deterring
how dangerous it is
that have grown
to put another Republican in the Oval Office. Can I just tell you
of really what's even worse than the Carter
they're not
administration?
kidding.
Okay, we're going to take it. Can we go to
They're not
do
kidding.
a break? We're going to blow break. I tell you what, we're going to toss it back to Dave Bratt. We're going to shift the flag here a little closer to the prison itself. We'll pick up coverage here in a few minutes. Royce White, Eric Prince, Bernie Carrick will make a surprise appearance. We're going to shift the flag up to where Congressman Green is. We'll pick the show up there in a few minutes. Until then, we're going to shift back to the war room itself with our own Dave Bratt. Dave, thank you very much, brother. We'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Oh, my God.
You bet. Thank you, Steve.
All right.
Back in the war room.
I don't give a shit what you want to say. Yeah, this is, I mean, here's the thing. Roe is gone. Roe's gone. Roe's gone. People are dying because of what the Republicans did. Okay? So it's really important to know that this isn't even the Bush Republican Party. Okay? This is like no Republican Party we have ever witnessed. And what will happen is they will follow through on weaponizing the Department of Justice against people who held them accountable. It may not feel like, a movie, right? Like where it's like, oh, this big climax, right? Nuremberg kind of thing. It may not feel like that, but it will happen. I just don't know. Like, we have had some serious. Not that we had a solid union of good, equal rights, etc., but we are even further back than we were 10 years ago, 4 years ago. So we do have to actually stop the Republican Party from gaining power in any way, shape, or form, whether it be at the local level or at the highest levels. And the reason is because this is no longer a party that is telling their electorate what they will do for them. This is a party that is led by individuals like you just saw, like Eric Prince, like Steve Bannon. The party is now led by those people. The people who didn't, kind of sign on to that, they quietly left and figured out what their next act would be. and they weren't necessarily stopping anything from happening, right? We heard, we saw all their books. They published their book about it. That's charming. But, you know, like this is definitely not a drill. Jim's right. They are American ISIS. And it's not, you know, I was listening to, what was I listening to? I was listening to Ann Nelson and just talk about the network, you know, and talk about the Council for National Policy and just what the loose coordination of this. Because really, I feel like watching the right-wing media and kind of like the on-the-ground people, it feels very much like they really, the base that they have really definitely kind of falls in line when it comes to believing whatever the big talking point is, right? They just believe whatever the big talking point is without question. And that's why, and to hear, like when I was talking earlier about Madeleine Albright and how fascism is voted in most of the time, in fact, 98% of the time it's voted in instead of taken. That's where we find ourselves at. And I know, you know, I can even stop myself there and go, come on, Lolo, stop it. You know, don't be so whatever. But then I go, Roe's gone. Roe is gone. And they're not kidding. They're going to go in and blow up agencies, which, you know, maybe some of them need to be blown up, but not to the degree and certainly not built back up by these people. I certainly don't want any agencies blown up and then rebuilt like these people. And these people believe this. You know, the screaming that I did about Doug Frank, about election lies being spewed all over the country, I understand that got really boring. But I'm watching in real time the fact that 33% of the country, I saw the other day, considers themselves this type of Republican. So, you know, check your voter registration, please. Yeah, they're all in. The Chuds are all in. All in. Yikes, Mikes. Oh, here we go.
This country is the greatest country on earth because we're morally good.
En route to Danbury, FCI.
And the moment we cease to be morally good, that day will mark the end of this great country. We are still there. We still have 70% of the people on our side of the football. We want that 70% to roar. It's up to you to keep roaring, right? Follow Steve Bannon, follow the War Room.
Take a potty break. I'll
find
be right
your favorite
back.
link out there from the War Room. You young kids, educate the senior folks out there like me with the gray hair how to do social media. Show everyone how to share this stuff. Seniors, you got the big lists that you've acquired over years and years and years doing your business. Get the young kids to help you message. Share your favorite link from Steve Bannon, Mike Davis, who's sitting in the War Room with me. He's joining us right now. And we'll all team up together and keep Steve's message and the American message alive and going. And so do we have Mike Davis booted up with us here in the War Room yet, Cameron? Mike Davis, ready to roll? Mike Davis, give us, you were just on the steps of the Supreme Court. Now you're sitting in the famous chair. Steve Bannon, great to have you with us, first of all, brother.
Thank you. I would say this, with Steve Bannon going to jail, this show just got so much better looking. Just like that with Dave Bratt. But anyway, thank you for having me over here, Dave. I just left the steps of the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court in a 6-3 monumental decision held that essentially
Mike looks really upset.
Prosecution of President Trump.
I'm Mike Davis, and I'm really sad. All my peoples have been with him.
Steve's message is, rob your supporters to get a pardon. Mine truth.
President Biden's not going to be able to try President Trump in D.C. before Obama Judge Tanya Chutkan before the election. This case is going to go away. Just like the rest of these cases are going to go away. This is nonsense. The only case that they were able to get on Trump was this bogus case in New York with this Soros-funded Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, teaming up with this former Obama and Biden top political operative, Matthew Colangelo, and this Manhattan corrupt Democrat Biden donor judge, Juan Merchan,
he gave him $35.
Millions of dollars off of this trial, this corrupt trial.
What?
In New York,
raised millions? I don't think so.
Crime of a businessman settling a nuisance
well, I'm so happy you're here.
That as a legal expense.
It's good to see you.
A settlement of a nuisance claim is a legal expense. I don't know what the hell else you would call it. They are trying to throw President Trump in jail. We're going to find out on July 11th if this corrupt judge, Juan Merchan, who should have recused, who was required to recuse under New York statute because his daughter is raising millions of dollars.
Oh, she's a consultant.
We'll
whatever.
Find out on July 11th what he does. I think he's going to try to put President Trump in jail for a long time. We saw
4 years. Wait, is it 4 years? Is the max?
The Democrats are turning on Biden.
That's not that long.
This is their Hail Mary. If you can't beat Trump,
maybe they have a golf course where he goes.
You have to try to throw him off the ballot. That didn't work. You try to throw him in prison. In the federal system,
Ask
that's
Steve
not
about
going to work.
this
So they have
acid in his hot tub.
Rigged partisan process in New York. They're going to try to throw Trump in jail there. Guess what? The federal courts are going to step in. They're not going to let Trump go to jail. They're going to grant Trump's 2241 habeas petition.
Really?
Trump's going to be back in the White House.
Really?
After
Mike's
November
really
5th,
hoping.
Yeah, Mike, can you explain to us this, right? The probability of Peter Navarro being in jail right now in a run-up to
you stand there, and then you stand here, and then you hold that sign, and then you hold that sign over there, and then you hold that sign. Don't put that flag in my face.
Precisely staying for 4 months.
You over here, and then you over here. Oh wait, no. Okay, you over here.
Energy going to jail today.
Okay, and then over here, and then you stand there. Okay, but nobody can see my preserve your documents, Garland sign. Come on, Harry, I almost got hit by a truck. Can you move over just a little bit, Harry? You and your fucking don't tread on me. Why don't you don't stand next to me, Harry? That's what I'm saying. Forget about it. I'm telling you right now. Jeff Clark.
How in the world?
So, okay, so stand over there. No, Jerry, you're not going to be able to stand there. You got that turquoise T-shirt on again. I don't know what's going on with the double tuck, but Jerry, you got to move behind Josh. Josh has the really funny, like, shirt. So, yeah, okay, yeah. All right, no, Jerry, it's embarrassing. You don't even have a sign. You need a sign. Where's your sign, Jerry? Look at my phone. It's basically an iPad. Okay, so wait, Jerry, move, because I'm going to go over here and talk to Cynthia. Okay, hi, Cynthia. How you doing?
Along with Jay Bratt in the Biden Justice Department to orchestrate the Mar-a-Lago raid, the political hit on Trump for presidential records. Trump is allowed
tell Cheryl to come over. Come on, Cheryl. Come over to the TV and see Jerry's on. Jerry, I can see you smiling. Oh, cute little hand in your hip. That's really sassy. You're sassy, Jerry. You're a sassy one.
Special prosecutor.
I don't know. Well, we're probably going to get hot dogs later on. I don't know. We'll have to see about that. Maybe Sonic's open or something. I don't know. You know, it depends. It depends. But first, I'm here for my man. Oh, wait. You have a tie on? You're black? You're a Trump supporter? We need you. Come over here.
Including the White House counsel before Big Fanny's unprecedented indictment of President Trump down in Georgia, a RICO indictment for the non-crime of objecting to a presidential election, which is allowed by the Electoral Count Act of 1887.
I don't understand. I mean, you know, get yours while the getting's good. That's what I say.
deploy from the number
Anyway,
3
Jerry
office
lost
in the
connection.
Biden Justice
Goddamn
Department,
cell
a very
towers.
senior Biden Justice
Jesus,
Department
track
political
phones.
appointee
Track phones
who
work
went
for
to Alvin
shit.
Bragg's office, the Soros
Oh, who's the dude in the
to
white
resurrect
suit?
this zombie
Who's the
case
guy
that
over there in the
prior
like
DA
light
siding
blue
as a
suit?
Democrat.
Yeah.
Do you see the part about what evidence?
Manhattan U.S. Attorney.
I
the
know.
Federal Election
I
Commission,
know.
and Bragg
Did you
himself
see
declined
that?
to
Give me
prosecute.
coffee. We
This is
read that.
lawfare
That
by
they
Biden,
can't do.
and he must face severe
They can't
consequences.
do.
Okay, excellent, outstanding.
They can't testify.
Answer was President
People
Biden,
who worked with him can't testify
Biden's
against
White
him?
House, legal
What?
counsel,
I need to understand
years
a
in
lot
the
more about
making.
that point.
And then the American people next want to know.
I don't know.
That's just Article 2, the executive branch. You're Article 3. I was Article 1, the Congress. How in the world, right, what forces are at play, right? In that book I just remembered, National Security and Double Government, that book showed that even Obama was not able to significantly shift foreign policy away from George W. Bush. There were forces
Yeah, we'll have to pull that back up, or see if we can get some.
Class, the elitist class, the globalist class.
See if we can get some
the
analysis
class,
on that.
the national defense establishment class. It's very
Did you
complex.
get my?
Our
Oh, you
side
didn't
has
laugh
not
at
done a
my.
good job of
I had a
explaining
funny
that to
GIF
the
in
American
reply
people.
to
But for the
someone on
president
this
to be able to
thread.
do that, the White House to be able to do that. The American people find it hard to believe a single president, right, a single person, even an administration, single-handedly could pull that off. So how does that fit into the administrative state, the deep state, that architecture of government we have in place right now that we have to fix, right? How does the executive fit
because it's
into
putting all our friends
the
in
major
jail.
powerful
Yeah,
forces
that's
at
right.
work,
So we
which
have to
seems
fix
be
the
running our
people who are
country
putting
right
the
now.
people in
these
jail. That's right.
career executive branch
What?
civil servants who run
Oh
the
my God.
executive branch. You
Oh my
can't
God,
get
my
rid of
nose.
them. They have civil service
My
protections.
nose
It's
is
very hard
running.
to get rid of them. And this is particularly
My nose is
true
running.
in the
I'm just so
FBI,
upset.
with people like Andrew McCabe, the deputy director at the FBI, who was a career bad actor. This is
I just feel like getting
particularly
high.
true at Maine Justice, where you have
Let me
these
see. Do we
bad
have any more?
actors like
Is there
Jay
any weed in
Bratt,
here?
who was the top career person in charge of counter espionage, counter intel. You had Jack Smith, who was one of those people before he got chased out of government, after he brought the bogus political prosecution against former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell that got overturned unanimously by the Supreme Court.
They love to talk about that. Love to talk about it.
Of the National Archives. These are bad actors. These are partisan operatives. These are leftists.
Little Starbucks action. Nope. Little Tilly's. Nope. Oh, she's got like a wait.
They're politically aligned, right? And so they're very happy to go
hard cider. No,
Trump.
I think it's not too early.
Jog my memory. You know, I knew Governor Bob McDonnell, right? And so these guys were in on that show as well. All clear.
Wow, you know all the criminals. The government cannot use evidence of a president's official conduct during a jury trial to help secure his conviction, even on charges that purport to be based only on his unofficial conduct. Wait, what? Use evidence of a president's official conduct during a jury trial, even on charges that purport to be based.
Conviction by Jack Smith 8-0.
Right.
It would have been 9-0, but Justice Scalia passed away.
That seems so. I mean, narrow.
And this is the
narrow is one word that comes to mind.
So what should
stupid is another word that comes to
I
mind.
don't even put it in partisan language because it cheapens the message. What should constitutionalists have done after the McDonnell effort failed? That side should have fought and gone after who? Right? Was that? Can you put a fair spin on what they did to McDonnell legally at all, or was that being run
that
from
seems
higher
weird
levels on down?
It was absolutely a.
I mean, okay.
By Jack Smith. Remember, Jack Smith's wife produced a documentary on the Obamas. They're very close. To the
oh my
Obamas.
God! Who cares?
Jack Smith is the Democrat partisan Scud missile sent in to take out Republican presidential or vice presidential contenders. They don't care about the fallout because they know that generally these cases will not get fixed until years later, like what happened with Bob McDonnell. What saved President Trump here is presidential immunity must be immediately decided. Meaning you have to decide it before the trial, not after the trial. And I would say this, that Trump's lawyers, John Sauer and Will Scharf, are the ones who came up with this argument on
Are they still there?
Immunity. They saved President Trump's legal behind here. Yeah. And if they didn't raise this argument, Trump would be in prison right now after Jack Smith railroaded him in D.C.
Good. Well, let me go. I think we have Jeff Clark, you on deck. Jeff, hey, let me flip to you on the issue Mike and I were just talking about. Because you're in the middle of this mess, too, right? They went after Governor Bob McDonnell. Everything gets wiped away.
I do love flour. I love flour more than I love vaping.
And the bad guys win. And this is no way to run a government.
I don't know what I'm smoking, but it's really
good. This is no way to run a government long term.
It's like 34% THC. That I know, I think.
And so what
it should be like 33, 34%.
To end this kind of corruption where you can just sue the
I know. Nobody
guy,
talking about this has had the time to read it and apply it to the charges, except the author of the dissent. No, I know. Did you get my funny reply to your tweet yesterday?
That keep the American people.
You didn't like it, so I figured it didn't.
So
either you didn't see it, or maybe it just didn't hit.
What we've been chatting about, but also what's a solution? How do we get a solution to this mess?
Sure, Dave. Well, thanks for having me, especially on this historic day with the Supreme Court immunity decision.
Oh,
to see
Jeffy,
the great Mike Davis,
boxer boy. Hey, baby. Hey, oops.
We were plotting together on various issues that include solutions. And on the day
Jeffy
that
Clark,
Steve
look at
Bannon is sadly
him.
being
He's looking
sent
kind of look at
prison.
him.
So it's a very
he's got a little
day.
5
and
o'clock.
Look, first, I got to say on the Supreme Court immunity decision, this decision is huge. It is the most important constitutional decision in a very long time. It cements the framers' vision.
I didn't think it was that deep, but
I think it undoes significant amounts of
damage.
Yeah,
it's like
done
7 or 10
as a result to the weak period.
7 or 10.
When,
Betty ain't got pants on. I don't have pants on. I don't have pants on. I like to put my hands behind my back when I'm thinking.
And look, it creates a
I'm not handcuffed. I like to just put my hands behind my back when I'm thinking. When I'm thinking real hard.
Then at a middle level, there's a presumptive immunity for other official acts, and then finally there's no immunity for acts that are unofficial. And where does he put, and you raised the issue, Dave, of where does the Supreme Court put the issue that relates to me about President Trump working with the Justice Department? Well, it says that the president has absolute authority to investigate whom he chooses and to prosecute whom he chooses, because he is the chief prosecutor of the United States.
However,
so
Mr. Clark,
the absolute immunity category.
I don't know. Sometimes there's like words that aren't allowed. So it might be just like a word that triggered YouTube's thing.
Of that. My opponents in the bar,
what about me?
Like Fani Willis, et cetera, are going to be seeing new briefing on that. And look, I think that this also
looks like he got punched in the eye.
To President Trump to fight against the office of Jack
All
Smith.
All right, see you later. Bye, Art Music.
Essentially established as a kind of independent official. But the whole logic of this immunity case is that there are no independent officials at the Justice Department. So this is a major vitamin shot in the arm to President Trump's arguments in front of Judge
This lets Bush off the hook for Iraq or Obama's drones, but candidate Trump can't claim refusing to concede and committing fraud is an official act, right?
Executive privilege, which is on the line in terms of Steve Bannon going to jail, right? I think that that's been watered down since the Nixonian era. I think this will portend a strengthening of executive privilege. So it's just great all across the board.
It's true.
And then, Dave, you asked the question about what can we do as a matter of solutions. The first and most important solution is to get President Trump back in the White House, because the Justice Department can be reformed with new regulations, with new policies, with new presidential directives to stop this ridiculous lawfare, but to pursue righteous cases against true lawbreakers. And then second, we need, as a matter of federalism, for the states to step up. The bars have become weaponized, and state legislatures,
especially the D.C. bars,
to block that kind of lawfare in front of bars and ensure that complainers are people who actually have firsthand knowledge of the lawyer-client relationship, which none of the complaints against any of the people tied to President Trump, really fit into. And then also, look, if people in the private sector need to do their work.
Good camera
it's
work.
Action, action, action. And if they're going to fight with this
Another
lawfare
excellent
on the
camera work
side
by
all the time,
Real
they need to
America's
face
Voice.
lawfare coming back from the people of the United States against Democrat officials. And then once they get a taste of it, I think they'll stop this nonsense and we'll get closer to the vision of the republic that the framers had in mind.
Oh, shit.
Jeff,
that's not
thank
good.
Thank you very much. Hang with us for a minute here. We're going to Darren Beattie, but the brilliance of Stephen K. Bannon, who has about the greatest breadth. I call him the Oxford Don across all issues: political economy, geopolitics, lawfare. The politics, running the White House, the administrative
Oxford
state.
Don.
He gets the smartest people on this show. It's just an honor for me to
just
to
an
be able
honor.
To sit
I just want to kiss him.
Of Harvard, and now
I just
want
to French kiss him.
Coming up.
I just want to Netflix and chill with him.
Wittgensteinian philosopher, mathematician.
He's
brain.
Everything.
And Darren, are you with us?
He's everything and nothing.
No, Darren. Yeah. Okay. Good. We'll keep. Is Jeff still there?
Can't stand Darren Beattie.
I'm still here.
Hey, Jeff, good. Let me go back to you and follow up a couple other just common sense issues. A lot of Americans, and I've checked in with some lawyers on this.
Tucson drove all the way to Connecticut.
Steve doesn't like us talking about this, so I'll make it quick. But how
I'm gonna get real high today.
Understand, right? This committee was misconstrued.
Real high
Speaker Mike Johnson has come on multiple news shows, the morning mainstream news shows, and said the committee was improperly set up. There was no counsel. The people that were supposed to be on it weren't on it. The minority, the McCarthy didn't get to name the people he wanted.
Love you. Oh, Lee, I'm so glad.
That
Be
was
safe.
the basis for all the activity and action that took place. And then the legal beagles tell us, well, you can't go back in time to what happened. It's not legally binding or something like that. How are we to understand? Is there no recourse?
Your guy's there. What's going on? Are you gonna throw it to Steve? Are you gonna throw it to Bannon?
First, obviously, Steve Bannon deserves a pardon when Donald John Trump becomes
at home. Recognize.
Sorry.
This is a war. And it's a political war, and it's a political persecution, and it shouldn't be happening, Steve. So I came here to support you, support the American people, the January 6th defendants that have been wrongly prosecuted, and President Trump.
Let's take. We got some media that. First off, I want to thank everybody here for turning out today.
We got your back.
That's his posse behind him.
The show is going to be bigger and better than ever. We got all kind of co-hosts. Nothing's going to change. It's going to be incredible, right? Next man up, right? Next man up. 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 It doesn't matter that I'm going to prison. If it took me going to prison. Come here. If it took me going to prison to get the House of Representatives to reject J6 and now to actually start an investigation,
who's the counter-protesters there?
It's a victory, right?
That is a victory, and that's what we have to do, Steve. We have to move the Republicans in the House of Representatives to act and actually do the job that the people voted for them and sent them to Congress to do. People didn't vote for Republicans to go to Congress and do nothing. They voted for Republicans
Steve,
to
we
do
baked
their
you a
job.
cake with a file.
And sitting around and saying, "Oh, we're going to wait. We're just going to wait." That is not
I
good
know.
enough. And they're going to hear from people all over the country. This is multiplying the war room posse by 10,000, Steve.
Thank you so much.
This is a Democrat
Hopefully
district.
10,000%.
Yeah, but look, this is a Democrat district, and where's the Democrats?
Yes.
Where are they? They're nowhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, folks, if it took me going to prison, because remember, the reason I chose Danbury, I asked for Danbury for a very specific reason. Back in the only other person that's ever been sent to prison for a congressional subpoena, not going to a House subpoena, for contempt, held in contempt, was Ring Lardner Jr. Back in the 1940s, during the House Un-American Activity investigation, Columbia Studio fired him, because of his political beliefs. And then he was found guilty. They sent it to the DOJ. He was sent to prison. He was sent to this prison. That's why I requested Danbury, because there's no difference in his fight
because it's
than
an
in our
easy
fight.
place to be.
I'm a political prisoner of Nancy Pelosi. I'm a political prisoner of Merrick Garland. I'm a political prisoner. I'm a political prisoner of Joe Biden and the corrupt Biden establishment. And you saw on Thursday all the lies that they told, right? All the lies they told. Any group that would sit there and lie to you about the shape of the president of the United States with the national security element of that, lied about the 2020 election. They've lied about COVID. They've lied about everything that they've done to the American people, and they're not going to stop. Until we stop them, they're not going to stop. And the way you stop them is you do things like this. Hey, if they're going to send me to prison, it's not going to matter if we take this fight and take it up to the next level, okay? Anybody from the press have a question? Is that Sarah Murray of CNN?
Yeah, he's pretty whiny.
I don't want to talk about my conversations with the president, but I think you can see on his Truth Social, he's very supportive. And remember, the most important thing, that was Sarah Murray, the great CNN reporter. Sarah, the most important thing to remember is President Trump is going to be sentenced to prison on July 11th.
Yes,
Me going here for 4 months is nothing.
He's pretty upset.
They're going in a very sham trial, totally illegal. They are going to sentence Donald J. Trump, the greatest president of the 20th and 21st century, to prison in a sham trial in New York on July 11th. So I know he supports this.
That makes sense.
It's very important. Sarah Murray asked, well, how can I influence the campaign? How can I do war room? You can't run a business from a federal prison. I have no intention of doing anything in the business. But I have a First Amendment right. I have a First Amendment right to have my voice heard. And my voice is going to be heard every day. And more importantly, their voices are going to be heard, right? You don't need my voice. We're a populist movement. When I say next man up, it's just not our other hosts. It's just not Congressman Green and Matt Gaetz and all the people that support the show. It's all these people. These are our co-hosts, right? That's why this is only going to get bigger. It's Nancy Pelosi and Merrick Garland that made me a martyr, right? But martyrs die, and I'm far from dead, baby. And this right here grows every day. Any other questions?
Father Robinson, see New Jersey when churches were shut down because of COVID. So here's somebody, and guess what? He also became an American citizen in 2018.
By the way, thank you, I am going to prison. I'm proud of going to prison. I am proud of going to prison today. I am proud to go to prison. If this is what it takes to stand up to tyranny, if this is what it takes to stand up to the Garland, corrupt, criminal DOJ, if this is what it takes to stand up to Nancy Pelosi, if this is what it takes to stand up to Joe Biden, I'm proud to do it.
Bravo.
Father, can you say a few words?
I'm not authorized to talk to the media.
You're not?
No.
Well, thank you for coming.
I agree with your positions, and I'll be praying for you. I'm in the St. Ignatius Retreat House, 15 minutes away.
You are?
Yeah, I'll get you whatever you need.
Father, don't pray for me. Pray for our enemies.
Yeah.
Right? Pray.
Yes, it was a congressional subpoena, Steve.
Thank you, Father.
St. Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and the snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all evil spirits who wander through the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. Ave Maria Purissima.
I thought he wasn't supposed to talk to...
Thank you, Father.
I thought he wasn't supposed to talk to the media. That's odd.
How you doing? Thanks for coming. You read all the trials, weren't you? You're from CBS News?
Oh, he's
ABC?
talking to them.
You see, we have a representative ABC. Did you like the way I bench pressed Jonathan Karl yesterday? Did you like the Jonathan Karl interview?
Yeah, right? Like, he'll be removed. That's a no-no, right?
Come over here. I can't.
You were standing with a priest and apologist.
Yes.
Do you have any
Do I have any regrets? ABC News just says I have not only no regrets, I'm actually proud of what I did, and I felt terrible if I didn't do it. Yes. I don't mind going to prison today, particularly if Congressman Green and Matt Gaetz and Anna Paulina Luna and other warriors in the House turn the focus on Nancy Pelosi. The J6 committee was completely illegitimate and set up. It's the reason it didn't have the impact. That didn't have the impact of Watergate. Yep. It didn't have the impact of Iran-Contra because you had no ranking member, no minority
sure doesn't
counsel.
Have a big,
they couldn't see the evidence. And
he doesn't have a lot of people there.
We need to reconstitute the J6 committee today. Yes! And we need to do it in the proper way. The Democrats should have a ranking member. Yes. The Democrats should have a minority counsel. It could be Goldman, it could be anybody. We need to get the evidence because I'm going to tell you, when we investigate J6,
I mean, that's like,
you're going to see that Donald John Trump
like,
was not just completely innocent. He was the one individual that wanted to protect the Capitol and wanted to protect Washington, D.C.
Retribution,
you're also going
right?
to find
like,
out what is
oh, he
the federal
does? Oh, I didn't realize that. Is that for the wall
DHS,
stuff, Tom?
FBI,
Sorry, I know it's loud.
This was a Fedsurrection. And the way we should do it is to have a complete investigation and let the Democrats have a ranking member. Let them have a minority counsel. Let them cross-examine
Let them follow the Constitution.
Let
I can't understand this. Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Bill Barr.
The wall.
Let them cross-examine the people that were doing the Secretary of Defense. Let the American people need that truth. If it takes me going to prison to get that, I would do that any day of the week, and that's what we're trying to drive here. Councilman Green, some thoughts?
No, I totally agree with what Steve just said. That it's the lack of action in the Republican-controlled House that has been the problem all along. The fact that Steve did not obey that congressional subpoena was the right thing to do because the committee was illegitimate from the beginning. Nancy Pelosi broke her entire House rules. She broke her House rules when she created that committee. And then look
Boy,
at
they're still whining about that committee.
She prosecutes Steve Bannon. They prosecute Steve Bannon. They prosecute Peter Navarro. But yet, who do they not prosecute?
Yeah.
Others that they subpoenaed.
Persuade us.
Why pick
Make us believe it.
and not prosecute others that were subpoenaed for Congress?
Yeah.
That
this was all
no
part of the plan.
Whatsoever. And then they're not prosecuting Merrick Garland.
Here's
part of our strategy to win in November.
Here's the bet that Nancy Pelosi and Merrick Garland, the Biden regime, has
made. Wait, he's going to be in prison.
They think by prosecuting me,
oh, I guess he'll be out right before the election,
one of the top advocates for President Trump. They think,
probably,
and they think they're going to say any chance of me working on the campaign. They think they're going to shut down the war room as this massive platform for MAGA. You see this right here?
Today, Danbury. Tomorrow, the world.
These people aren't going to be shut down. The American people have learned one thing. When their voice is heard, change happens.
I don't
and that is what the war room's all about.
Nobody
it's
wants to tap
bigger.
that.
So Nancy
Come
Pelosi
on.
bet the wrong way. The
Nobody's going to go near him. He looks like a walking STD.
The platform's only going to get bigger. So I'm proud. If it takes prison to show the American people that they're prepared to put, in the first time in history, one of the largest hosts of one of the largest shows in the nation, that the line we've crossed right now, and if we don't stop it right here and right now,
by what standard?
It's going to continue. So we got to stop it, and it's not going to stop.
I mean, really,
until we stop
no one's going to touch that. I guess not. I think it's more about, I think he's a walking disease. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
I was on a destroyer for 4 years.
I wouldn't be in the same.
I am prepared
Wear
for
shower
whatever
shoes.
prison has, right?
That's what I'm going to say. Wear shower shoes.
Our prisons are run very well. The Bureau of Prisons does a great job.
I know, Julie. He said that. You're right. Merrick Garland said that. All would be held accountable. I don't know if that's going to be true, but
I do it with gratitude to these people. If Nancy Pelosi and Merrick Garland are going to think that Steve Bannon and this little podcast is done from a basement in Washington, D.C. is so important that they will
you do it in a basement in Washington, D.C.? Is that true?
That supports an opposition to them in the run-up to the election. If they
Next
think
man
that's
up.
a deal,
What the
I will
fuck?
do that gladly.
What does that mean?
And whatever prison holds, prison holds. And look, I went to a military school. I served in the Navy.
I bet he does.
So I'm
right? He
prepared
must.
mentally and physically to go. But what's most important is that these people are
Darling,
empowered. If my
you're
going
not
to prison
prepared
empowers
for
these
them to
people,
run out of
I'll do it every day of the
cheeseburgers
week.
at McDonald's, okay? You're not prepared for that. you're going to have a fit if they run out of Krispy Kremes aren't hot and tasty.
The question is, how am I going to be heard every day?
The war room, more like
it's
the
very
rec
simple.
room.
You know I'm going to be heard every day.
That's a good one, mind you.
These people right here in our
on the couch in the basement.
Show's not going to change.
Oh my God,
hey,
stupid.
Folks, one of the reporters wants to know, how am I going to be heard every day? And I say, it's you.
Well, not specifically you all, because you all look like a bunch of idiots. But, you know, some of you.
We're a populist movement. President Trump, they're going to put in prison. Steve Bannon's going to prison in a few minutes. Alex Jones, they're trying to liquidate. The Gateway pundit, they're trying to put in
liquidating
bankruptcy.
him.
It's next man up. They can't stop this. This is our power. Our power is right here.
Is what? Oh, those two?
Is an informed and empowered American people. It doesn't matter about me.
Those two are your power?
It doesn't matter about anybody else. They're going to try to imprison President Trump. It's next man up. What the ruling class in this country
that's his daughter next to him in the white suit and the black shirt. That's Maureen Bannon. Yes, he actually has a child. That's his child.
They can deplatform to stop the MAGA movement.
She's everything you think she is, and then some.
Look what happened in France yesterday.
Yeah, waddle into jail now.
France started to take back their own country from the globalists. In Germany, they're taking back their own country from the globalists. In England, Nigel Farage had a rally
said
that was
at
like
his launch that he was not there to win elections. He literally fucking said that. They are there as a spoiler party. The Reform Party is a spoiler party.
That was on CNN in living color. We saw exactly what it was.
In Living Color is back? I love that show.
Hear my voice every day.
You have a message for former President Trump.
For former President Trump, my message, thank you.
See you in Danbury. Oh, no.
CNN?
See you on Cell Block C?
I have two. I
don't know. Bring ramen?
The message of President Trump is very simple. Fight on. If we don't stop, if President Trump continues to fight, victory is going to be ours. We're going to win in a landslide. We're going to pick up the Senate with 55 seats. We're going to pick up 5 seats in the House. Yeah. We could win in a landslide.
Cult of personality.
Remember, if he
That's a great fucking song.
They don't win. President Trump's on the path to victory. And you saw last night on CNN in all its glory what they have hid, and he was a hero for doing that. He
Isn't life funny?
He shouldn't have debated Biden until September,
life
October.
Is so funny.
He did it for the country to be able to expose, and took all the rules that CNN gave, right? Every rule, and I disagreed with that, and I told him that. He did that. He did that for the country. And he wanted to expose the lies of the ruling elite in this country. You have a cadaver in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue that is now a national security threat. Don't ask me.
Shaved.
Ask Zelensky how he felt after that.
Yeah, he does seem
debacle,
very desperate, doesn't he?
Ask
I
Jerusalem
know.
what they felt
arrested
about
him
the
on the
debate.
super yacht.
Netanyahu. Ask the people in Taipei what they felt after that debate. Trump did that to expose the lies of the ruling class of this country.
He's talking so much.
And that, my only advice to him is fight as hard as you fight every day.
His fraud trial, yeah.
And victory is going to be ours.
It's all coming down. It's going to take a minute.
I think he said it today. Just keep doing what you're doing. They're not going to shut down our voice. President Trump, you can see by the rally speeches, you can see what's on War Room. The War Room is the platform for the Trump movement, okay? The War Room is the platform for the MAGA movement. So President Trump,
she's talking to Bernie Carrick.
Just continue to fight
not nervous at all. Proud to be taking the stand.
Should we go ahead?
I threw up on my.
What time is it?
I covered my sweater in mom's spaghetti.
Any other?
What's your opinion on the SCOTUS decision?
Hey, hang on.
Oh my God.
Where are you
Come on,
from?
the SCOTUS decision, for
NBC?
fuck's sake.
Do you like my Vaughn? I bench press Vaughn Hilliard too. So I bench press Jonathan Karl and I bench press Vaughn Hilliard. You're a brave man. We love MSNBC. The Supreme Court, if you look at the last 90 hours in political history, starting with the debate. That was a debacle for the ruling class.
The Navy prepared him for prison. Yeah, he had Eric Prince on.
Yeah. If you look at the killing of the Mac Daddy, the administrative
Amway.
state, which is the
Amway,
Chevron
baby.
deference. Okay. Then you look at Le Pen's
I
massive
can only
victory
imagine.
yesterday in France. Nigel Farage now on the run in England to take over to destroy the Tory party. If you look at Alternative for Deutschland, 100,000 Antifa have to come out to shut down their
and a
country in
crucifix.
Germany because
He's very into the crucifix thing now.
Like Brexit was in 16.
He's in his Madonna phase, you know,
for 2024.
like a prayer kind of moment.
The Supreme Court. In a 6-3,
he's got like 7 crucifixes behind him when he does his show.
It's
true.
That Jack Smith,
they're on his like mantle or something in his basement. Apparently, he does his show from the basement. I didn't know that.
What is it? 6-3 with
Justice
Brown Jackson joining us, right? Brown Jackson joining us on Friday and overturn a Fisher. And people in the Justice Department, and quite frankly, people like Andrew Weissman should be investigated.
That's going to leave a mark.
Of putting innocent Americans
that's going to leave a mark
right now for felonies. And then today, the massive 6-3 win on immunity, and of course they're going to fight that. But this is just
whatever.
Absolute immunity. So for NBC News, it's quite simple. We're winning everywhere, right? And we're going to win more. This has just started. In the last 90 hours has been historic about the right wing, not just in the United States, but throughout the world.
Praise Jesus.
Bernie, you guys want to come and say something?
Yeah, Bernie, you want to say something?
You good?
I can't talk about anything,
By the
Chief.
way, I want to introduce. I got Bernie
I'm on parole.
Here. I got Eric Prince.
Eric fucking
my
Prince.
Buddy. I got Mo Bannon, my daughter. She'll take over. She'll be the CEO of War Room.
Oh, Mo's going to take over. It is morning in fascist America. Hello. Put your crown on.
Love you, brother.
Royce
will say something. He'll say anything.
Nominated candidate in Minnesota running against Klobuchar, another neoliberal neocon.
We won't take a single back step.
You will.
That's the bottom line.
I mean, I'm telling you, Royce, you've already taken so many steps back. You're an asshole. This guy's a misogynist, homophobic, transphobic piece of
You're
shit.
praying that we don't wake up to it, but I'll see
That's
to it that
what
they
Royce
will.
White is.
We will not
He's
take
a piece of fucking shit.
We love this man right here. He's
He is not. There's nothing liberal about Royce White. Zero.
You better
Zero.
That.
He's a trad. He's
now.
Fucking Christo-fascist motherfucker.
But when the gulag opens up, all of you will be in it next.
See?
Understand that.
See?
God bless America. Love you, brother.
See? That's what's running for Senate in Minnesota.
Royce White is running in Minnesota
Royce White.
On Thursday, the Declaration
that
of Independence,
attitude,
July 4th. Where are you
that
going to be,
bigotry.
Royce?
The heart of corruption. The Federal Reserve.
That,
you all know
that
how the money works?
fucking traitorous.
I'm sure you all know how the money works.
Fascist
like
son of a bitch is running for Senate in Minnesota.
A man who went to Harvard, who was in the Navy, and who worked on Wall Street is never supposed to talk about how the system actually works. All of you know.
Go to prison,
you know
everybody.
What it is to be a wage slave. You know
Royce is an idiot. He's been an idiot for a minute. For a minute.
And yet you peddle the narrative anyway. It's disgusting.
Why on July 4th? Why
type of weapon, but I can't remember what it's called. Darvo,
why are you leading a march?
Seditious incitement. Stochastic terrorism.
In June of 2020.
He's an idiot. I'm sorry, Royce White.
Why are you going to do it now?
After George
He's
Floyd
been on
died,
his
the
show
focus
for
is
a
on
while.
Police. The focus should not be on police. The global corporate community
he's on his show all the time. He's a pundit. Well, now he's running for Senate.
Is the heart of the corruption.
I think he was an athlete, but I'm not sure about that.
The Federal Reserve is the heart of the way.
I'm not sure exactly what his background, but I think he was.
There where it all started on July 4th.
All right.
Like a wrestler or something like that. I don't remember exactly though. Yeah, let's see how many times Trump is going to put money on his commissary.
Eric Prince. When President Trump wins again, how important it is for us to go after the deep state, and I mean criminal investigations to break it up. Now that we got the Chevron deference, that starts to break apart the administrative state, but the deep state, the one that stole President Trump's first term, the one that helped steal President Trump's second victory. What do we have to do?
Elections must have consequences. The real constitutional crisis is we're supposed to have 3 branches of government. We have 4. The 4th must be accountable to the American people.
Basketball.
Enough of the permanent bureaucracy. It's why we're failing. It's why America's standing around the world is collapsing. It's why every foreigner I encounter asks, please get Trump back in office.
Every foreigner,
And I would also say, we turn my friend Steve Bannon over to the guards at the prison here. We will be here in 4 months to collect him.
Oh my God! Are you going to break him out, Eric? Are you going to break him out of the pokey?
We expect that they take good care of him, or there'll be accountability for that as well.
What do you recommend we do with the FBI?
I'll have to
DOJ,
look it up, Pepper, because I had looked up his background when I first saw him on War Room, but I just forget.
2025.
First
what
of
does President
all,
Trump have to do?
It's the power of the purse. All those hyper-bloated organizations need to go on a severe diet. They do a lot of really stupid things. They will be less stupid inevitably if
Project
they are smaller.
2025. Project 2025, yo.
So tell us
it's Project 2025.
Thank you very much, Eric. And there's been a message.
Thank you very much, Eric. Please step
will
off.
Be fine for 4 months, and
thank you.
Thank you for that.
Just step back, Eric.
Absolutely right, everyone.
Was that a little bit of
The American
shade?
government is overgrown. It's turned into a monster, and the American people are having to pay for it all.
Is that a little bit of shade thrown from MTG towards Eric, Prince of Darkness?
This is unsustainable no matter how you vote, Republican or Democrat. And Americans need to say enough of it. We've got to shrink down the federal government. We need to slash down the giant agencies.
Everybody loves Trump that actually doesn't love Trump.
Get control of its power. It's totally
racist
out of
and bigots love Trump. I know that. Oh, that was a little tiny bit of shade.
On streets everywhere.
Tiny.
I'd like to go back to Nancy Pelosi, Steve, if I may. You know, everyone needs to ask Nancy Pelosi, why wasn't the National Guard at the Capitol on January 6th?
Amen.
She is responsible as Speaker of the House for the security of the Capitol. I was a brand new member of Congress. I'd only been there 3 days.
That you
3 days. I could have been killed because of Nancy
a bunch of
Pelosi. She did not secure the Capitol for anyone. But
Brian works for Steve now. Brian works for Steve. So it's not his show. It's Steve's show.
Amendment rights and guns away from Americans.
So Brian has to stand to the side and hold his girl's purse
while they keep it for themselves.
She
They're the party that will bring in the National Guard
disinformations us
after January 6th
fucks
to tell
us
America
again, because never miss an opportunity to mind fuck America. That's what MTG
and take away your First
sees.
Amendment, destroy your small
Isn't it incredible, Julie? I mean, to see Eric Prince that obvious. I mean, that's the thing. He's been doing this for a minute now. He's been going on a bunch of shows.
And affect an election.
The Democrats
she can
shut the fuck up.
Covering up a president with dementia. And
anyway, she's pulling out all the stops. I got this. I got that. Let me show you what I got in my pocket. Let me take something out of my bra.
And lied to your face. And then they dare call President Trump a liar. They stand
that's true.
A man that has no clue what he's saying. What he's doing,
I mean, can you just
the nuclear codes.
What about
they stand behind
what is that?
And then
Rote
they
memorization.
President Trump of
Don't you
lying,
think
and America knows
a
he's
cannibal
telling the
like
truth,
that
and they agree
is
with President Trump, and that needs to be
can
said
do
more
like
and more. President
kind of
Trump is telling the truth,
rote
and it's the
memorization.
Democrats who are the liars.
I mean, really, she's just checking them off the list.
Beijing here, okay? Not one. Take down the CCP.
Oh boy, here we go. Where's Glow? Hey, where's Glow?
Take down the CCP. Take down. This show's not going to back off.
Hey, Boo Boo. What's where's your buddy? Where's Guo?
From taking down the Chinese Communist Party.
What's happening with Guo?
The brave people and the noble people in China's back. The Lao Beijing will
exactly.
eventually run and rule China like they should have.
No, they won't. But anyway, here's the thing. No.
Take down the CCP. Take down the CCP.
He doesn't really mean that, folks. Actually, he doesn't really mean that.
I'm pass the baton over to the team at the War Mo, the CEO. You got a few words to say?
Yeah. You guys on the left think by putting him in there you're going to silence him. Steve Bannon's voice will not be silenced while he's in there, and War Room will not be silenced.
So there. My daddy.
Okay, I want to turn. I want to thank Real America's Voice. I want to thank all the media for coming out here today, including I tell you, this is a lesson that we can help CNN and NBC and ABC News.
I'm his
our
daughter,
brethren
and
over there,
he
they're a little
loves me.
misguided.
I'm his
In Fox News, the Murdochs. This is just a step that we make in that direction. Okay.
I haven't seen Boris
Parker
on his
Sig,
show.
Brian
What's
Glenn,
happening there?
Great reporter Harry, the production team want to thank
I know.
everybody.
Where's with
the who
has the
that
pies?
Did this. We're going
Who
to
has
pass it
the
back to the
pies?
studio. Remember, just two things.
That would be funny.
Victory or death.
That
And
would
what
be
I mean
funny.
by that, we either win
I mean,
or you're gonna
probably
have the death of a constitutional
case.
republic. It's next man
Oh,
up.
nice glasses.
Everybody
She's
here,
got a very tiny
you've
mouth.
Step into the breach. Everybody in the home
The show's
audience has got
over,
to step
baby.
into the breach. I'm going to be here, but my voice is not going to be silent. And the reason it's not is because of you.
Goodbye.
Bow your head and pray for God's blessing. Pax et benedictio Deo omnipotentis.
Hey, it's a fake priest. Goodbye.
Thank you, Father. Appreciate it.
You
Victory
are
and death.
gonna
We'll turn it back on to Real American
be
Voice.
out
It's time for me to
of
surrender
here,
up in Danbury. Thank you, guys.
There he goes back to prison. It's going really well. This is all according to plan. He is going off to prison, but don't you ever worry. Hi, Paulina. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. We'll watch him get in his car. Fight harder. Fight harder. Who's that guy with the little thing? That's a bodyguard. Payback's a bitch. Yeah, I made that joke too. Yeah. Oh, there's Granny. Granny's quite upset about it all. Hope they're putting the music up. Enjoy the toilet wine. Yeah, it's funny stuff. It's good stuff. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, I forgot I had that one running. It's a good beat. Gonna be a hot bad summer. It's gonna be a hot bad summer. So just you wait. It's coming for you. Oh yeah, it's coming for you. Well, you know, folks, this has been fun. Boy, the music's kind of crazy. I'm going to prison and I'm very much upset about it. Watch me get in my SUV. I hope nobody Epstein's me. Sorry. But I'm in a mood. I'm in a mood. I'm going to spend the rest of the day getting real high. And just waiting for the coverage. Waiting for the amazing coverage. Because strap in, kids. It's going to be 24 hours of nonstop buzz. Like fucking clockwork. Yeah. Gloria, that's a good one. Yeah, Space Tonight. Space Tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, everything in between and outside of that on Twitter. It's already scheduled, so check my profile on Twitter, and if you know, you know, and join us for a space where we just let it out. We just let it all out. Anyway. Don't go into prison. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Let's do that. I'll do that. Maybe I'll get high and I'll read the opinion. That's a great idea. Tits and all, man. My tits are going to be out of my bio and into the space. Let's go. Come on. No. Tits and all. Yep, we're going to have it all. Okay, well, it looks like they're not even going to follow him. That's sad. Wow, they're not even going to really... Nobody let the camera guy in the car? What? Wait, what? I'm going to prison. Yeah. You can't drive in a prison in an SUV. You are gonna be in the back of the seat. And I'm gonna drive you up to that prison. Hi, Teresa. Love you. Aw, Teresa. Good to see you. Justice is working slowly. I'm going to prison. Felony charges in bio. Time served in bio. Wow, it's got to go dark.
All the people that have gone out.
Okay, never mind. Nobody likes you. Nobody likes you. Oh, there's Nadine. Oh, she's awesome. I like her. I like her. Let's see. Let me go. That was amazing. Oh my God. So amazing. Oh my God. But it's funny. They made him get out of his SUV and get into a cop car to go up to the prison. You can't roll up in a black Cadillac Escalade to prison. Get the fuck out of here. I chose my prison. Seriously, give me a break. Fronting. I think the kids call that fronting. Yeah, start with the dissent. That's a good idea of. So yeah, I'm gonna read that. I think a lot of us are gonna be reading that most of today and trying to, put our understanding around it. Who do you think you are, Mr. Convict? Your pens aren't gonna get you far. Smell you later, Steve. That's right, Tom. That's right. Smell you in 4 months. But in the meantime, all the poor people in your prison have to smell you. Well, so we have. I'm not upset yet about the opinion. I think it seems it's yearning to be read. So let's read it. So I will see you today. Hopefully, all of you. I hope. Spaces needs a volume control. I don't know how you would do that. I know it's terrible. It's time for TLC. Where is SEAL Team 6 these days? What are they doing? Welcome to prison. You can come, but Bannon. But you will never leave. You can check in, but you won't check out. Ooh. I got the Steve Bannon going to prison blues. I'm sad to hear the news. No, I'm not. I'm happy, but he's sad. Maureen's happy. She gets the fucking station. She gets the TV station. I'm just kidding. She's such a dolt. Wait till you see her on War Room. Ugh. God, talk about a snooze fest. She's the personality of like a dead fish. I mean, I don't like to make prison rape jokes because obviously rape is a serious issue, but and I shouldn't say but I want Bannon to be scared of everything. I want Bannon to be scared of everything. Because the fear that he feels, regardless of the threat that produces that fear, the fear that he feels is part of our justice. And so I choose to imagine that he lives in fear of many threats. And you know what? Good. All right. I will see you all later in the space, and then I'll see you tomorrow morning. We have another Wake and Bake. I will be on time. I apologize for being minutes late today. So I will be on time, and tomorrow is a Wake and Bake, and then there's something else happening tomorrow. Oh, yeah. I want to talk about Project 2025 a little bit and stuff like that. Yep. All right. Peace out, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and I will definitely see you later. Headline.